Good evening, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me just fine. This is Dr. Phil, Dinner with the Doctor. Today, there's going to be some girl world action, but we've also got a new subject for the show. We're going to call him a guy fella, a guy world edition. AirsoftFatty, also known as Chris. AirsoftFatty is his name. That's what he names himself. He gets the name from being fat, and no, not from being soft and full of air, but because of a hobby of his, which is paintball guns, also known as airsoft guns. Or I guess if they don't have paintballs, they're called airsoft guns. I'm not sure, but we're going to get into more details of that today. But before we even get going with that, let me welcome in some people to chat. Day D Gorilla, welcome in. See you were in here a little early. Skinny Queen Reacts, my good pal Sarah Jane. Pleasure to see you. Hope you're feeling a little bit better. QZ, welcome in. Susie Q, hopefully everything's good with you. Elizu, Pondu, what up? Jarella, good to see you. Hey, Susie. Matt, oh my, pleasure to see you. Camps, what's up? Ooh, lemon bars. Well, lemon bars can be pretty good. I mean, I've had people to try those. Hey, Rosalind, well, we got a bunch of mods in here tonight. I almost have too many mods now, to be fair. If anybody wants to relinquish a moderatorship, you're welcome to. I don't think we need this many, but I think we're going to be in good hands as things progress, right? Oranges, welcome in. All right, we got a hope. Hey, Archie AF, excuse me, gotta stay correct on that. Hey, Rose JM, welcome in. All right, we've got a whole bunch of people already. People just pouring in. Hopefully you'll enjoy this fatty segment. So before we even get to the fatty stuff, let me just give you a little catch up on Girl World. What's going on with that? I'm not really going to even show many videos. I'm just going to talk about it for a second. Just mention to people a few things. All right, Oranges. Yeah, if anybody would rather just not have the stress of having to mod, I don't mind taking you off. Geez, I got to open up the other window. But yeah, so what's going on in Girl World right now? Not actually a lot, to be fair. Chantal just got this massive boil drained. I learned that it was allegedly $1,000 or $1,200 American to take care of the boil. Now, I know that people in Thailand tend to go there, often go there for less expensive medical treatment. It's medical tourism. Oh, with peace and love. Yes, Oranges. Respect. I appreciate that. Yeah, right? The Fatty's place is not looking too sanitary. Yeah, and as far as the boil, an Amber got dumped. That's the other bit of big news. If that's even real. Foodie showing up at NYC? What? Am I behind on that? Because if that's some big news, if that's for real. Welcome in, Freedom Deep. But yeah, that's basically all the news in Girl World to report as of tonight. I know there's a lot of details, but Chantal got a boil drained off her leg. I have a conspiracy theory. Let me pull up a little video just to show in the background while I'm doing this, because that'll make it more fun. Let me pull up the this is a video from Piggy, by the way. This is a really good vid. Piggy does great stuff. Okay, let's put up this video here. We're going to just let this run in the background real quick before we get to AirsoftFatty. Whoops. I got the wrong video playing. Hold on. Okay, there we go.
Hello, Nasser.
So this gives us a little bit of idea of what's going on with Chantal at the moment.
Why are people so worried about my finances? Like, I don't get that. Like, oh, I hear this so much. Oh, you just need the money. She's just desperate for money. Like, she needs money.
You sure, Archie? As long as you don't mind. If you we'll eventually maybe need some more, but I want to take pressure off people at least as much as possible. Hey, Detective Cochise. Yes, I was possibly going to be having Detective Cochise up as a panelist tonight. Now that he's here, I think we will. Yeah, no problem, Detective. I'm just covering the Girl World segment first. Hey, Rudy, welcome in. Hope you're having a great night. No worries, Archie. Yeah, I'm just, it's no worries for anybody. I'm just a little bit, once I get Detective up here, he gets settled, we'll be good. Fiona's mom. No worries whatsoever. You're just in time. Well, I don't want to unmod everybody. I mean, if I unmod everybody, then I won't have any mods. But I mean, I don't mind unmodding a few people. I'll take you folks off. No problem. But I don't even know what I want. I'm being so darn unclear right now. Let's just get on with the show. That's what I want to do, because before I get too sidetracked. So, Foodie allegedly paid $1,000 to get this boil drained. This is only a 5-minute video. Let's watch this really quickly before we get up to Fatty, just to catch up. Because I have a conspiracy theory that I got from somebody in the comment section of this video that I want to share.
Money.
Perfect, Oranges. That's exactly.
Like, don't we all? Why are you dogging on someone?
Perfect attitude.
If they need money, I'm just saying, like, if that were the case, who cares? Like, why is it your business? Why, like, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think people should just be like less interested in that stuff. But no,
folks are great. I'm sorry for being a
depressed person. Honestly, it's a mixture of reasons we came here. We wanted to travel. We wanted to try doing travel videos together.
That's cool. That's
and I have a target, like, in short term, maybe at least if I could hit like a certain amount of views, I have that number in my head, and maybe long term they can grow.
Let me post a link to this vid because Piggy does some
I'm
great
gonna
stuff.
try updating the thumbnails every once in a while. Just rotating like thumbnails. Desperate for money, yet Sala's with me for money. That's a very huge contradiction, indeed. Yeah. Actually, sometimes I get insecure because I'm such a mess, and I think, like, how could anyone want to be with me? But, like, then I have to try to remember everything positive I bring. And
hear that, folks? I'm going to play that back because I think Chantal sometimes gets a bit insecure, and then she remembers all of the positive things she brings to the relationship. Let's hear what they are.
Actually, sometimes I get insecure because I'm such a mess, and I think, like, how could anyone want to be with me? But, like, then I have to try to remember everything positive I bring. And like, I try to think more positive things, and it seems to, like, dig me out of it because I have so many problems, you know what I mean? I'm not.
There you go. All those positives she brings to the table. She just was rattling them off right there, right? And you folks are all great, by the way. And yes, Oranges. That is one of the two conspiracies. Since you brought it up, I will bring it up. Foodie is, no question about it, a difficult patient to treat. She's big. She's nasty. She's likely to have complications because of her weight and her other medical conditions, possibly diabetes, inability to keep clean in the infected area. She's not an ideal patient, let's just say. So it's possible they charged her extra. It's possible they gave her the tourist special where they jacked her up because she was a tourist and they didn't, there's something about her rubbed her the wrong way. But I have another theory, a little more sinister, which you folks may enjoy. And I got this from somebody in the comments section of this video. I wish I could remember their name. My apologies to you. But I said something in the comment section how much I liked it. Exactly, QZ. Positives for Salah. Does anybody think it's possible that Salah told Chantal it was 40,000 baht, or approximately $1,200 American, and then paid it for it himself? But he only paid maybe $200 and he kept the difference? Does anybody think that's possible? That's a conspiracy theory, which I'm not going to say for sure, but I do think it's possible that Salah pocketed the difference. And now that we've got some more people in here, for also, I'd like to make some thank yous. I'd like to thank first an anonymous donor who's come through with $15 in the Cash App since last episode and now. And I would also like to single out by name. Let me pull it up here. Icy847. We all know Icy. Chili 31746. I know Icy's been having some trouble getting to the live streams, but I still want to give Icy a big shout out for the $10 support. Very much appreciated, Icy. Thank you very much. All right, back to the show. And if anybody else would like to make make some support of the show, I have a link to my Cash App on my main page. And here's the my Cash App ID, $ Dr. Phil. Pretty easy to remember. Okay, so back to the program. So apparently a few of you think that's a possible theory. Archie likes the theory. Welcome in, Spooky Muse. Cabs likes the theory. He kept it for the Russian sugar girls. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Yep. Okay, we got a few people who were liking it too. I wish I could say I thought of it first. I read it in a comment, but I always like to give credit where it's due. I wish I could take credit though, but I can't take full credit for it. I will take credit for spreading it though. I like the idea. I thought it was very clever. Welcome in again, Spooky Muse. Right? That's such a sleazy thing to do, but I've got a feeling that otherwise, wouldn't Salah be really angry about that? Because just think about it. If you're Salah right now and your whole, bet, what do you get from Chantal? Like she just said, she's insecure. I'll let the video run in a second more because it's only like 3 more minutes. Like she said, she's very insecure because what does she bring to the table? If she's costing over $1,000 for medical treatment, well, that was what she was bringing to the table, was going to be that $1,000 in their budget for traveling and for fun, for whatever, for Russian sugar girls. That's gone now. Their vacation now is going to be just sitting in a hotel room, waiting out the days till her visa gets renewed, because now their whole vacation budget just got blown. If that's true, if Salah pocketed the money, well, Chantal just needs to sit in the room. He's going to go get her some food, though. He's going to go find a deal, get her a little something to make her feel better. But it's going to take him a while. He'll be back in a few hours. Maybe? Am I off base?
I'm not going to say exactly how long we're here till. But, yeah, because I just don't want, I just want to be as secretive as
indeed.
I can with certain things now in my life. So I have a giant Diet Coke with a giant ice with a Diet Coke from 7-Eleven. It's their responsibility as a husband to fill that role, like to be like a caregiver, And I feel like maybe sometimes, like I don't talk about our private life, but a little bit of my sentiments I don't mind sharing. Like,
welcome in, Denise.
Part of me feels like because I've never had a strong father figure in my life, that sometimes, in a weird way, like Salah is that person in my life that's like.
Wow, I think that's a very interesting statement. Some guys might find that as a turnoff. Some guys might find that as a turn on. Some guys might not find that as a big deal at all. But I definitely think that's something that is worth hearing again. Let me rewind that just so you can hear what Chantal said about it. She kind of views Salah as a bit of a father figure. Interesting.
Strong father figure in my life. That part of me feels like because I've never had a strong father figure in my life, that sometimes, in a weird way, like Salah is that person in my life that's like protective in that way, not like in a weird like psychosexual thing. It's like more like I don't know, I don't know how to explain it.
Sure, Skinny, you come up.
How much was the ER?
It was like 1 second.
Well, I don't want to say exactly how much, but I don't know if there's any problem with saying it, but I would I don't know.
I will though mention, Skinny, I'm only going to be doing Girl Roll for just a little bit though. After that, I'm going to be going on to AirsoftFatty for the rest. But you're still welcome to come on up.
It wasn't like, I don't know, like maybe a couple thousand or so, not too much. Not like thousands and thousands, like tens of thousands or something like that. No means no, hello. That's the most I've had to pay for like healthcare ever because I'm from Canada, right? So if you don't count the taxes, of course. It was Cuba budget from like Cuba was like all included. It was like 1,400 and something. No, it was like 2,000, like almost 2,000 like Canadian dollars. Oh no, yeah.
Okay, now there's the financial part where she just said almost 2,000 Canadian. I'll go over that in a second. Oh, welcome in, Card. The Card. Her stepdad was there 10 years older. Or with Joe since she was 10 years old. Okay. That's another good point. I always forget that too, because Chantal never mentions that guy. But yeah, she had a stepfather who was, in my opinion, must have been a pretty good guy, because Chantal's the kind of person who, if he was not a good guy, she would be trashing him every chance she got. She'd be calling him an abuser and all kinds of terrible stuff if he actually was bad. So I think that he must have been a saint if Chantal doesn't have anything bad to say about him. And he's probably still helping her to this day. Let me just go back and chat a little bit. Hey, Fiona's mom, welcome in. And welcome into anybody I've missed. My apologies. Welcome into any lurkers. Welcome into all the chatters. And welcome into anybody watching the replay. Let me know what you think of my crazy conspiracy theories. And let me know what you think of my coverage of AirsoftFatty when I do finally get to that. Yeah, red flags, red flags. Well, welcome in, Ariel. Did I miss you? Oh, there you are. Welcome in, Ariel. Yeah, like that's kind of odd. Like, I mean, it's also the way she words it. Like, it's one thing to see somebody as being more responsible. And even if they're younger, you could still see them that way. Like if I dated a woman who was a little younger than me, but maybe I felt that she was more responsible in some ways. That I don't think that's automatically something that can't be the case, but I wouldn't see her like a mother, you know? that would be a different kind of thing. But I don't know. I'm not going to delve too deeply into it on that. But I think it's still something interesting, though. It's interesting. And like Cart says, she did have a stepdad. Yeah, Denise, that's a good point, too. If the kind of relationship Chantal claims to want is something that she would ideally get from an older man. She claims she wants like a father figure. She wants somebody who can support her financially. She wants somebody who can give her guidance and leadership. But that's not what she really wants, I don't think. I think that she really just wants somebody who's going to clean up her mistakes for her. That kind of a father. She doesn't want, a father figure who's going to say, hey, Chantal, you need to do better. You need to shape up. She wants the kind who's going to say, oh, it's okay, Chantal. I'm going to fix it for you. Don't worry about it. That's the kind of father figure she wants. She wants a sugar daddy type, but she's not going to get one of those. Oh, no worries, Skinny. Yeah, I'm just covering this for just a second anyway, so it's not going to be a long girl world thing. But you're always welcome to come up. Slaw's ramping up the scam. Yes, indeed he is. Yep, exactly. She wants somebody with that kind of experience. She definitely needs somebody who's more has some experience. Salah's a very, he himself is a young guy. He's not really, but that's the thing though. Chantal seems to have a level of respect for him more than she ever had for somebody like Pete's, for example. If Salah says, hey, I think we should do this, Chantal, as willful and as stubborn and as pig-headed as she is, she might actually listen to him a little bit. Not that she would obey him.
I think around that. I can't really remember exactly. A surgical procedure. It's like considered a surgical procedure. That's probably why they can get away with charging. Actually, that's not bad. That's not bad for some of the private clinics, like some of the private hospital, other ones I've called. It was like going to be like maybe one was like 40,000 baht. Like, thanks. Or that might be around, I don't remember how much in baht. And okay, I'm not good with conversion. I'm going to have to ask Salah and I'll get back to you. Because I don't know how much he paid in dinar, how much exactly it was in Canadian.
Okay, so this is allegedly, she goes over the price a little more precisely here. She said 40,000 baht, which Piggy is nice enough to do the conversion on in just a moment.
Canadian or baht. So I have no concept of this. I don't usually do the conversion here. Save myself the headache. I'm here, I look cute, I wear hats, and I edit. That's it. And I eat all the 7-Eleven food. I swear every night the stock boy is
conspiracy.
like,
I'll tell you in just a second.
I better restock those.
I'll tell you just a second, Spicy.
With cheese inside of it. How much is 40,000 baht in Canadian?
There we go. Just wanted to get this conversion for everybody to see. So this is allegedly what she paid, converted as of September 7th, it says here. So this was the actual price, a little over $1,100 American, a little over 1,500 Canadian, which in Thailand is pretty exorbitant from my understanding. I mean, I think you could get an American emergency room visit for $1,200 like that. You could get that done in an American hospital, full price probably, for about that, with no insurance or anything, just walking in, cash pay. at an emergency room. I don't think it would be too much more than that. So I'm having trouble believing that's what it actually cost. Either she's trying to fish for sympathy donations from her audience, which is pretty crappy in my opinion to do that. You know, if you genuinely need something, it's one thing, but to try to just make things up, that's really scummy. But I think Chantal would do that. Or my conspiracy, spicy kimchi, my conspiracy theory is that potentially Salah told her it was 40,000 baht, this price listed on the screen here, 1,200 American, but he only paid maybe $200 American, 300 American tops, because the price of medical care in Thailand, from my understanding, is significantly cheaper than America. And this price is very high, very, very high. And unless she went to the fanciest place in all of Thailand, the most touristy place, or they ripped her off or something. But yeah, that's my little conspiracy theory. And if anybody has any questions or anything for me, just tag me in the chat. Hopefully I will see it. If not, just tag me again. My apologies. Just got a lot going on at once. All right, so let me just let this video finish, and then we're going to go on to Fatty.
Can't remember. I can't do the conversion. I didn't care for the Cuba trip because you were on the prowl. You don't have health insurance? It would cost.
Actually, let me pause something here. Somebody in the chat said something I wanted to address. So it was a good point. Oh, welcome in, everybody I've missed. My apologies. I missed a few people who kind of came in. Sarah Marie, welcome in, Sarah Marie. 2,000 to sit in the cafe and eat. 3,000 if you count the cost of her computer. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by that. They spent 2,000. I guess what you mean. They travel. You're spending what they spent total just to do their little trip. Now that you add in the medical cost, I think that's what you mean. But anyway, welcome in, Sarah Marie. Apologies for missing you. And welcome in, Denise, in case I missed you earlier. She did say her uncle is like her dad. Okay. Yeah, I know she has some men in her life, some men, some responsible men, some good men, because if she had bad men in her life, she'd be trashing them every chance she got. Yeah, exactly, Cart the Cart. She had a family, but she chooses to act out. She wants to paint herself as a victim of a bad childhood. Her childhood is typical. Her childhood sounds very typical. I don't like to compare, myself to anybody else. I'm just going to say Chantal, I think from what I understand, sounds like she had a pretty average to above average experience in her childhood. Not gonna, I'm not gonna say it sounds like she had the everything the greatest. I'm sure she had some hardships, but not any more than the average person would have. They were in Canada. Do you think she would still be this way? Do you mean, in what way do you mean, Dainty Gorilla? Do you mean her attitude at the moment, or do you mean her relationship with Salah? I need to be a little more specific to answer that. But I like the question. Welcome in again, Ariel. That is another good point, Ariel. That she sees him as a father figure in a way it is another implication that the romance isn't really there. Because if the romance were there, she would not be seeing him as a father. At least she'd be seeing him more as like a daddy. You know what I mean? Cute. Press X to doubt. Yeah, what's up with the 7-Eleven meals? Fiona's mom asks. Here's my conspiracy theory on that one. Chantal, allegedly, she said this in one of her vids, that she asks for cheese with everything. And allegedly that 7-Eleven's one of the few places that has lots of cheese available. And she's having trouble finding fried cheese. Yeah, right? It's really not that hard. You can just use a calculator. Hey, welcome in, Lara. Good to see you. Oh, no problem. Glad to have you in here. That is a lot, Dainty Gorilla. Even as an American, that seems like a lot. Because in America, unless you're totally uninsured, you're going to pay less than that. And a lot of people who are outside of America don't realize. In America, there is public insurance. It's just that you have to be under a certain income or have other certain conditions to qualify for it. But we do have a lot of government-funded healthcare. So it's not like some people do get caught in a trap where they don't have access to any healthcare, and that sucks. And I hate, and I don't like that. Something needs to be done. But a lot of people, but it's not like nobody has any healthcare here. It's not as bad as some people make it sound. But yeah, that's a lot even for here. Oh, thank you, Archie. Yes, everyone, if you're enjoying the content, please click that thumbs up. Detective Coachie's coming up. Paging Detective Coachie's. We're going to be doing the AirsoftFatty segment in just a moment. That he was going to be yeah, actually 4,000 bot. Probably. That sounds a lot more reasonable. Of course, first thing you should learn. That's a great point, Ariel. First thing she should have learned before she even went. I will say America at least has good quality. I'll say that, even most of the time, even though the bills can be exorbitant. That's true. Ruthie's in agreement with Gorilla. Yeah. Oh, geez, 3K. Yeah, it's crazy in America sometimes. Sometimes it is pretty crazy. It really is. All right, let's let this segment run because I don't want to let this run for too long.
It's a lot. Thailand is not as cheap as we were thinking.
Yes, very
We
point.
spend more on food here per day than we do in Kuwait. And the food in Kuwait is a lot different, but there's more halal. I don't know what, and Zinga, it's just the right kind of support. Like, I don't like support. Like, I like the support from you guys. I like the support. I mean, why not? You guys are human. You're not professionals, but I've talked to many.
Welcome in, Lady Night Hawk.
Primo healthcare, it wouldn't matter until you figure why you
welcome in, Ruthie.
Exactly, sweaty. You can still be yourself and silly. You just have to treat yourself with respect. Yeah. 1517 Canadian. Okay, then it was probably get free breakfast.
I think this is a great point, Spicy Kimchi. I think he was the closest to what she kind of her all-in-one that she needed. Now, of course, he had a bazillion other problems of his own that made him completely unsuitable, but I think that he appealed to that need she had. Yeah, she is not much of a traveler. Not much of a traveler. Is there a discount for cash pay in America? There can be. I don't know about hospitals at less, but it is. But you can actually get a pretty good discount if you negotiate, and that is true, Laura. If you have it through your if you have it through your workplace, that's usually the best way to get insurance. If you just have to buy it on the open market, it's usually pretty expensive. That is true. But there are a lot of government subsidies available for people if you're low income. So it's not, but it's unfortunate though, because it's like if you don't have it through your job and you make a little bit too much money, then you're really screwed. So there's like like I said, there's a really bad section of people who get screwed over, and I've been there, so I know that. Oh really? Okay, there you go. See, Ruthie knows what's up. It can be that bad, Ariel. Unfortunately, it can be. It can be. That's why I try just not to go very often. Oh, yes, she is, Ruthie. That's what she's saying here. That segment that I just cut through, the part where she was talking about she likes her audience for support. That is some really just like mindless, bland support to get it from her Beezers. It's not real support. Exactly. Yeah, QZ. That's the thing with the insurance. The insurance inflates it so high that it creates a lot of factors downstream that inflate the cost for the people who don't have insurance. So it ends up making it untenable for everybody. Yeah, it's a whole other subject, but it could take a show of its own, but it's not fun. Yeah, I've had good insurance through work at times, and I've had less good at times. So it's pretty annoying. I like the system they have in some of these countries where they have where it's mostly where they have a lot of cash pay, and everybody has to the doctors have to compete for prices. I think it's very possibly did too. Okay, enough Chantal. I'm just gonna let this one last section run because I think this one part here is really hilarious. This part here I think is funny. So everybody listen to this.
No, but I will say next time we travel, we're gonna get a hotel with free breakfast because usually, at least I've found that usually the price of getting it instead it's a free breakfast, it's a free meal. Get it because you can stock up in the morning, then go do all your things. I think it's just probably something I would do next time.
Did you hear that advice that Chantal gave at the end there? I think we probably should listen to that one more time. She said that she learned the hard way. Always get the hotel with the breakfast. because it's a free meal. You're going to buy that anyway. So, by her logic, the money that she's going to spend every day on breakfast is less than the cost of upgrading her hotel. That should give you some idea how expensive her breakfast is if it's cheaper for her to upgrade her hotel room than it is just to buy the breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Like, how much does she spend on breakfast if it's cheaper for her to go to a fancy hotel that comes with a breakfast than it is just to buy the darn breakfast? How much is she spending on breakfast? Wow. Yeah, I've seen some crazy situations like that. And Lara says she's got the same situation. That's so frustrating. You're right, exactly. And if there's anybody who doesn't really need a big, heavy breakfast, yeah, the theory with the pocketing the money, I believe. I think that's the one we're talking about. Yeah, but Susie, she really doesn't need that big breakfast. Okay, so let's get started. Oh, we got Detective Cochise here. All right, Detective. You don't have to leave your camera on unless you want. It's up to you. I think Chantal means by no breakfast is the breakfast they had was just totally insufficient for her. It was probably like just a little bowl of fruit and some bottles of water and a couple, and a pot of black coffee, something like that, right? If you want to see somebody whose cheeks are swelling up their face, Susie, I have a treat for you. Let's bring on Detective. And that's not who I'm talking about. Welcome in, Detective.
Howdy, howdy.
Glad to have you in, buddy. So how has things been going?
Yeah, it's been going pretty good. Yourself?
Pretty well. Let me make sure I got your volume good here.
That's what I was wondering. Am I high or low?
I think you're just actually, I think you're pretty good. Now, the more I listen to it, the more I like it. I think you're solid. All right, everybody. Oh, and let's just close out the section with Chantal right here. I got a few comments I want to run through, but then we're going to start the fatty section. And then I'll ask you for your opinion real quick on Chantal. Ruthie says she's calling this a boil, but isn't it obviously an abscess? What's the difference? My cat had to get something last once and it was an abscess. I can answer that. The big difference, primarily from my knowledge, is boils are superficial. Whereas an abscess is something that grows under the flesh, grows into the skin. A boil is something that erupts above the skin. So it's not as dangerous generally, because if it ruptures, it just kind of leaks away. There you go. Ruthie seems to have looked up the answer herself. There you go. Is this a new Girl World character I'm covering? Fiona's mom. It is not a Girl World character, but I think we can start a Guy World with him. He reminds me a lot of Chantal. Okay. So, Detective Cochise, are you ready for the first segment here on Fatty? And do you want to share like a quick theory on Chantal or anything before we get to Fatty?
I'm still not 100% convinced that she did have a boil. The complete lack of medication on her would tell me that something wasn't right. Because if they really had to go in and clean it out, and it was as large as she said, she'd have an open hole that would require antibiotics, and if she's not taking any, then I don't think she had anything done.
Okay. I think it's hard to say for sure. I think the antibiotic story is just throws everything into question, like you said, because how could she have a boil or an abscess without any antibiotics? But other than that, her story adds up. So it doesn't add up because that part stops it from adding up. So yeah, I see where you're coming from. Otanky, welcome in, Otanky. Airsoft is a legend. Airsoft is an interesting guy. I like people to make up their own minds on these kind of, whenever I present somebody. I'm going to be showing more of his recent history. Oh, welcome in, Rosalind. I'm going to be showing some of his recent history first, and then we're going to be covering some of his present. There's a long ancient history of this guy. It goes way back. I'm willing to go back a little bit farther, but I want to kind of just cover where he is right now, and then we can kind of go back. Because if we start at the beginning, it's going to take too long to get to the present. So we're kind of going out of order. But I think it'll still make sense to everybody. I did not know about cat abuse. I'd heard of the grifting history. Why is there cat abuse with all these people? What the heck? Like, why do they all, like, why is that a common thread throughout, like, people I cover? Yeah, Lara, no antibiotics makes no sense. Okay, so let's get started on this segment here. This is after any alleged cat abuse, so we're not even gonna get into that today, because I wasn't even aware of that. But it just goes to show how much ancient history there is to cover on this guy. Oh, I should say, come to think of it, now that I think back, I wasn't so much cat abuse, but I do remember seeing they had a bunch of cats when he lived with his mom. And she was basically hoarding the cats.
30.
Yeah, so that is like questionable now that I think. I mean, I didn't look at it at the time. I didn't bother to think about it, but that is an unsafe, unhealthy number of animals to have.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, because I never heard of him until you mentioned him, and then I watched some of his stuff last night, and it said his mother had up to 30 cats, and he was upset because guests were coming over and she never cleaned up after them.
That's very sad, and I do think Fatty has some hardship in his life. I think he's had more hardship than Chantal, certainly. I'm not trying to say he's a horrible person in every way and you should hate him. I think you should make up your own mind, people. That's what I say, and learn more. I can only show you so much once, but all right, I think that's a good little intro there, and some of his past. So this is going to bring you more up to date on his present, what's going on right now. So let's let this run for just a second. This is kind of the intro. Oh, and I guess I should preface this as well. Fatty no longer, his mother sadly passed. He lost the house that he had with her. It fell into disrepair. It was already in disrepair, and it just got even worse. And so maybe it was condemned. He had to sell it for just whatever he could get. Was basically homeless, and was offered an opportunity to appear on a reality TV show to make some money. And that's basically where this video kind of starts. So I'm going to let it run, and you can see the "See you next Tuesday" on the wall right there. So I put a little content warning in the description for the show. Hopefully everybody takes that to heart. There's going to be some nasty language, but hey, if you watch Chantal, you can handle that, right? Welcome in, Blue Eyes. And welcome into anybody I missed, by the way. I'm trying to do this little introduction here. I'll take another look back once the video starts. So, Detective, I'm going to let this run for a minute, and then we're going to give our little 2 cents.
Sounds good.
Last time we covered Chris LaFawn, aka AirsoftFatty, things were not good. In fact, they were worse than ever. He had had numerous meltdowns on live stream, and he was also about to be evicted from his home. He had nowhere to go, and he was sure to let his chat know that he would soon be homeless. And for a while, it was looking like that would be the case, until Fatty received an offer to join an internet game show called Fish Tank Live. Fish Tank is like Big Brother meets the Eric Andre show. The contestants are being put through hell by the hosts, and the last one standing wins. While Fatty was not a traditional contestant, he was allowed to stay in the house, compete in challenges for money, eat food. This was a role that they quickly branded the freeloader. And Chris would produce some absolutely iconic clips in his time on Fish Tank. While I'm showing you these clips, I want you to keep in mind that this all happened live and there were thousands of people watching. The first one I'm going to show you takes place a couple days after Chris's arrival. You see, the crew could tell that Fatty was lonely, and they decided to take it upon themselves to get him a personal masseuse for the night. Hilarity would ensue when this lady of the night would decline services on Chris after.
Okay, so I think this is a good place to pause. So hopefully everybody could hear it. Detective, are you able to hear the show so well so far?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. So for anybody who missed the intro, this is a reality TV show that Fatty has appeared on because he's homeless and desperate. We're just kind of in media res. We're just kind of starting in the middle because there's so much backstory, which we're going to go back to later. But yes, right now Fatty is being offered the services of a sex worker, put it politely, and he is some problems are about to ensue. Let's hear what's going on here.
And just to let people know who aren't familiar with it, the big number 4 behind them, each of the bedrooms are numbered for the contestants, and he just recently moved from one room into room number 4, and there was a big flare-up he had with some missing herbs, shall we say.
Yes.
And they were thinking that it was during the move that it was misplaced, but due to the contracts, the fish tank doesn't allow them, or the fish bowl doesn't allow the herbs there. So that was another great explosion he had. But that's what you'll see, the 4s and the 3s and various items like that. So just want to cover that.
I appreciate the clarification. And yes, the name of this reality show is Fish Tank. If anybody's interested in the show, I don't know if you're going to like it or not, but if you want to see it, it's called Fish Tank. And yeah, the contestants are not allowed to have any weed in the house. Fatty is a hardcore weed smoker, multiple times, lots, big amounts, multiple times every day. And him not having access to it makes him act kind of weird. So he possibly smuggled some in, possibly not, allegedly, And if he did have it, it would have been in his bag that also had his clothes. And every time his bag would get misplaced, he would freak out. It's kind of what I think that's what detective is referencing a little.
Right, and they're not allowed to leave the house. Not even allowed to go outside during the program. So
you think for Fatty that wouldn't be a problem? He really doesn't like to leave the house much anyway.
Well, when he's got his lightsaber, he might.
Right? If there was a Star Wars duel outside, that might get him to touch some grass. Fatty smoking a fatty. Yeah, right? That's why they should call him Airsoft Fatty. They should call him Smoke Weed Fatty. All right. All right, let's keep it going.
After a unfortunate discovery.
All Chris.
Oh, what up, gang? What up? Meet Soraya, everybody.
In the soul and in the spirit.
Personality-wise, you got a D plus.
Hey,
Chris.
Hey.
Aren't you just a lovely individual?
Thank you. And what's your name?
I'm Chris.
Oh, so you're the one man. Okay.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, unlike Betty, which you were not interested in and had no tension, no sexual or romantic interest at all, she is not vegan. So I wanted to hand you this. He doesn't like vegan girls at all.
Well, that's great.
She's got the big meat. Big meat.
Yeah,
Where's the beef?
I'm
You got something, Chris? You can make us
How long are you here for?
I don't know if you met.
As long as you want me here for. I'm here for you.
I just want to comment the fact that Chris doesn't like vegan girls. He has a choice. Like, since when has he ever had a choice of girls? That's just my question. All right, back to the show.
More of a sweet drink kind of guy or more bitter?
That's what
Well, you guys have a little fun. I'll be back down in about 15, 20.
You're gonna go clean up, Chris?
Yeah, you look clean. You
Don't yell.
He's gotta get a line up.
He said, I ain't cleaning up.
What is he doing? Trust me.
You did just get out of the shower.
Like an hour ago.
You're gonna waste too much time, buddy. Trust me.
Yeah, dude, just put on some fucking shorts and let's go, dude.
Yeah, trust me, bro.
I only need a quick one.
It won't.
Dude, you just showered.
Fine.
Notice how he's asking them for some time here before he sees the woman. He's saying, just give me 5 minutes. Just give me a few minutes. Just give me a minute to clean myself up. And they're arguing with him, telling him no. They're telling him not to clean up. I mean, how crazy is that?
He's just wanting to go take a shower and get cleaned up, and they're like, no, they want the pheromones.
They're like, you just took a shower. He's like, yeah, but I just need a few more minutes, guys. Come on. I'm like, no, don't worry about it. This is, I'll tell you, Chris, for somebody who's stubborn, he picks the wrong times to give in.
That's all I need.
Dude,
You can send her right up in 5 minutes, no problem. Yeah.
Thank you.
No, don't do it, man. Trust me. Girls like pheromones.
We could start off with the massage, okay? And then we will see how much time you want to do, and then we'll go from there. Is that cool?
Do whatever amount of time you want to do.
You can lay down, and I'll start off. And with a massage, we'll get into the mood.
Good idea.
And then we'll go from there.
I like the chair in the middle of the room made it look like a big old wrestling match
I'm
happening.
scared to lay down. Because I feel like the bed is kind of dirty. I'm scared to lay down on that bed. And honestly, I'm so sorry, but
Welcome, Maggie.
I was like massaging you. There's something on like
Yeah, it's the
your
old,
butt
it's the old
crack.
stage from fucking airsofting.
What's that?
Old stage from airsofting, sliding dirt.
Okay, I'm like, it looks like poop stains. I got scared.
Like,
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just, I just felt like I
Yes.
smelled poop a little bit. I don't know why. Like, I feel like I smell poop. So, I don't know if I could do it.
Of course, Sam would pull her to the side and try to convince her to go back and give it a second try, but it was no dice. This would cause an already mentally fractured Chris to break down even further. Getting turned down by a lady of the night because you smell of feces is going to be quite the hit to your pride and ego. But in my opinion, Fatty is already more mentally unstable because of one of the two main rules the game show has. There are really only two rules to
Okay,
Fish Tank.
so
A,
I
don't
think-
go outside, and B,
Okay, so I think we just need to address really quickly here. As funny as this is, I don't know who to blame more for this. As much as I want to blame Fatty for not insisting that they allow him to clean up, those guys who encouraged him not to, they are the devil's helpers. They really were ooh, those guys. Bad advice, man.
I like the sign there, stay inside, no weed.
I mean, it's make up your mind. Well, pick one or the other.
What I think is interesting is the way the employees were concentrating, and I'm not going to throw too much of a spoiler out there, but it's the mattress itself. They keep, if you notice throughout the various shots, the sheet keeps getting arranged a little bit more onto the mattress before she gets close to it.
I'm not sure I understand you exactly. So you're saying you notice the sheet changes position before she gets on it?
Yeah, it started off cascaded in the middle of the bed, and now it's spread out to where he's laying on it. And then the issue with the feces odor is not necessarily from him.
Oh. Okay. I think I understand you. All right. Well, yeah. Sorry, QZ. My apologies. But I did put the content warning in the description. It is nasty. There's gonna be some more nastiness. How do you let yourself smell like that at all, Lizu? I think Fatty is nose blind. I think his nose doesn't work so well. Oh, they were trying to hide the
Chantal
stains.
school of restroom using.
Say again.
He went to the Chantal school of using the restroom.
Yeah, you know something? He's got that new shack. He needs an outhouse. If only he had one like Chantal did.
Oh, he's got one.
He needs one like Chantal has, though. He needs a good one where he can buy his drugs
it's not that classy.
in one spot. Okay, let's. You think that is a good start? It only gets crazier, folks.
Oh, this gets
no
way...
weed. The crew knew that if they deprived Fatty of one of the things he was most addicted to in life, that he would be worth his weight in gold on camera. And they were right, because one day, Fatty went absolutely insane when another member of the fish tank stole and hid his bag.
Possible.
Oh, someone took his bag.
I didn't take it.
Oh, he wants to mess with everything, but if he gets really nutty, he messes with shit.
Hey, he's pulling a Sylvia.
Hey, Vance, I don't take people's whole fucking bag.
He's completely losing his mind over a bag that disappeared.
It's not my business. It's not my car. It's not my It's got my fucking laundry. So when Trevor's taking my bag, he talks some shitty ass laundry. Number two, it has my fucking car from home. Number three, it's got my fucking fish hooks. I'm paying you to
His ability to scream so loud and to overload the microphones at all times is impressive. It's how does he not lose his voice?
Did her helmet have a splash shield on it?
I hope it did. We're going to see it again in a second, I think. Oh, geez. Whoops. All right, there. Sorry, I lost location real quick. But I just wanted to point out, he's using the broom, but I don't think it's how you're supposed to use it. I think you're supposed to use it to clean the floor. Am I wrong, Detective?
He's using that forward thrust lightsaber technique he practiced with his buddy earlier.
I got you. It's really more of a practice lightsaber. It just looks like a broom.
Yeah.
That's a $1,200 bag. Let's go.
His weight and weed.
And is that furniture stuffing all over the ground?
That's a good question. I didn't realize at first, but it might be like a torn up pillow. It actually looks like that pillow in the background's ripped up. So maybe those are all ripped up pillows or something.
Missed one hell of a pillow fight, maybe.
Maybe a pillow fight? I'm not sure, because it doesn't look like paper. I don't know. Does he own a shirt? I think he's outgrown it. I think he outgrew his shirt, the one that he owned. He needs to buy a new one, right?
So where the fuck is it?
Yeah, where the fuck is that?
Because that's one expensive ass fucking bag. And that's every fucking piece of clothing I fucking got. Y'all want to see me do? What we fucking do?
Now he gets naked.
What we fucking do? There we go. There we go.
Contract. Rules and needs to be broken.
Great placement.
Hey, easy. Come on, man. Chris,
Where the fuck
you
is
leave?
QZ.
You were moving all your stuff to bedroom 4 like a few hours ago.
Now we're watching the first season of Survivor. There's Richard
I went
Hatch.
up and took a nice big old shit. I sure as hell didn't take it up there.
I gotta give a big shout out to Random Fish Tank Clips for putting that little fatty emoji over all the stuff that no one should ever have to see. Thank you again, Random Fish Tank Clips. Now that Chris had proven he was not afraid to confront everyone at once, I knew it was only a matter of time before he had a severe personal issue with another contestant. And that is exactly what happened when a new trend began to emerge in the fish tank. Contestants had began to throw various liquids at each other, whether it be condiments from the fridge or water from the sink. They began to drench each other in all these disgusting fluids. Chris was very fond of doing this to people, and when he covered a particularly thin-skinned contestant's shirt with mustard, they had a slight disagreement.
You don't know shit.
That's all you gotta fucking say, dude.
Okay, well, don't yell.
You don't need to go on fucking tears.
Okay, well, don't fucking yell.
So yes, for anybody in case who missed that, apparently the bag that he was, trashed the entire place, punched holes in the wall, exposed himself, screamed all kinds of nasty language, top of his lungs, for his bag, likely had his weed in there. But apparently his bag that he lost. It was his own bag. He lost it. Nobody even took it.
And I like his changing hairdos.
Do you think that's intentional, or people just shaving his head without when he's asleep?
I have no idea, but man, ooh, good ones.
Yeah, I could not live in the same house as this guy. I think I could come and visit, like watching an exhibit. I think I could do that.
Like first do it for real.
I don't think we're actually going to do this full show because I want to cover more of the house itself. But let me skip ahead just a little bit. So we got that. Let's go to this segment here.
Another thing is Chris's lack of clothes. I should point out here, Chris was originally sleeping on the bed in the master bedroom until he urinated all over it and made basically no one want to touch it anymore. Another thing is Chris's
Agreed.
lack of clothes. He would walk around the tank naked often, with little regard to the female contestants' wishes. I truly believe that he brought one shirt with him to Fish Tank, because I only saw him wear it when he arrived, and there were multiple occasions where he stripped down to nothing. He would hit on almost every female that entered the tank, and after they rejected him, he would be increasingly passive-aggressive to them. Sometimes actually aggressive. More on that later. But I don't want you guys to think that this was all a horrible experience for Fatty, because he had some good times too. I mean really wholesome moments, guys. Like the night him and well-known humanitarian Frank Hassel did a little bit of fun face painting.
No, I don't! No!
Yep, he had his one shirt. This guy is so nasty. He does act like a toddler.
Oh, dude, it's not coming off!
Welcome in, anybody.
Is that permanent pain?
I think he's what, 22, 23 in this?
I think he's 30,
It
isn't he?
seemed like Chris was an
No, I
almost
thought,
never-ending source of content on Fish.
Is he 30 or is he early 20s?
Well, in the one video where the guy went out and videoed him and Mike, he was 22.
All right,
So,
that was about 5 years ago. So he's about 27, 28
It
now.
was that long ago? I didn't realize that.
Yep. So he's about 27, 28. So he's not quite 30. He's about halfway in between. So he's late 20s now when this was done. He should know better.
So far, Fatty has been rejected by an escort, said the N-word, put holes in the wall, and he screams at the talk-to-speech donations.
Oh, well, let me post a link to this video too, the one that I'm using. My apologies. This channel is called Kiwi Tapes. They do some good videos. I get a video premiere on occasion. Feel free to check them out. Give them a like and a sub if you enjoy them. Yes, and he is shaved like the Johnny Elbows dude. And please hit that thumbs up if you're enjoying the content. And we're going to be getting to the part about Fatty's house soon. I should run the video again. Fatty now lives in a shack. If you thought this place was nasty, wait till you see where he's headed. Because it's got nothing on this. All right.
I knew that him joining the show was going to be good, but I had no idea it was going to be this good. And then Fatty hit me with the funniest clip I've ever seen of him. I remember it all like it was yesterday. I had just tuned in, and people were making some kind of big commotion. And through all of that commotion, I deciphered someone saying that Chris had gotten hurt. And sure enough, when I looked on YouTube to try to find out what had happened, someone had already uploaded the whole thing.
Jesus. Probably. Yeah, that hurt. He took like serious hits to the fupa.
He fell down from that fifth step.
A lot of people speculate that Fatty planned that fall, but I gotta say, I think that even if he did plan it, he did not plan to take it so hardly. That was about 2 or 3 steps right to the old gunt. I believe he also bit his tongue during this because his speech was impaired for a couple hours after.
I shouldn't laugh.
It's honestly amazing that he didn't bite his tongue off or at least break a rib falling down the stairs as brutally as he did. And I don't know if you heard it, but these steps were slick with urine.
All right, Detective, you have something you want to say?
Yeah, I don't think it was faked in any way because they've showed him several clips of him going up the stairs before, and he goes up them the same exact way he does when he slipped on these, where he takes left foot up and then the right foot to the same step, and a lot of times the heel is hanging over the edge, and it's like a 45-degree angle from the step itself. So as he waddles up the steps, he's not even getting his full foot on it when they were showing him going normally. And when they show him falling backwards, it just like they were saying it was probably a little slippier than he's used to, but you see how his left foot there, his heel's dangling over.
Yeah, and he's also not using the banister at all. He's standing all the way over to the side by the flat wall where there's nothing to catch himself.
Yeah, and then but the earlier showings of him going up and successfully making it was the same exact walking position. So I think he really did kiss the step.
I'm gonna agree with you on that because he looked like he was ready to fall every time he walked up the stairs, in my opinion. Because, like you said, he walked with his foot halfway off the step. Let's let it play. You can see it
Someone
again.
Sure enough, when I looked on YouTube to try to find out what had happened, someone had already uploaded the whole thing.
Even when he makes it up, his foot's off of it.
Heels off, and then it just slid.
Yeah, so those steps are very narrow, to be fair, but his body weight, it's just, that's a recipe for disaster. And that they're slick as well. I don't like the look of those steps for anybody if you're not in good shape. Those are narrow, kind of steep steps. Those are not, and there's only a banister on one side. Those are for somebody who's relatively fit.
We have a set of steps that are very similar to this. It goes about 4 or 3 steps up and then has the 90-degree landing, and then the rest of the way to the second floor. And they were, I took a nosedive down from about the 7th step up and went down and did the 90-degree turn. So I was really lucky on that one. And then I went out and ended up putting down those grit tape on each of the steps. So,
good idea.
That made wonders for going up and down them. But,
yeah, that wood like that is not safe. That's very slippery.
Yep.
Well, I'm glad we got that settled. So I agree. And yes, that's the thing. He was trying to be agile going up. Instead of using the banister and going slowly, he was trying to hop right up without, he wasn't respecting his own limitations. Like Chantal got that boil because she doesn't respect her own limitations. Going up and down those stairs for him is no joke. He needs to give it his full attention and make sure that his feet are firmly planted down. He didn't do that at all. Yeah, you could have lost a tooth maybe. Looked real to you. Okay. Needs to hold the railing. Whose urine was it on the stairs? Excellent question. And how is his back shaped like that? That's a good question as well. All right, let's let it keep running for a second.
Urine, which in and of itself is pretty gross, but is on the line. House, not even nearly as bad as what we are about to discuss, folks. Because the next thing that I want to discuss is the grossest thing in the house challenge. Contestants were supposed to go all throughout the house and find the grossest thing they could. $1,000 was on the line. So people immediately start grabbing things that Chris has soiled, either the bed that he slept on or the shorts that he had. But then Chris brings in his item, and he is the hands-down winner.
This is pretty nasty here.
Chris's shorts that he pissed himself in.
Spread them out so you can see the piss. What else is in there?
Nastiest item in the
house. Piss?
Yes.
Is that whole thing soaked?
He was also wearing them, so probably has piss stains in it. Yeah, it's soaked.
Okay. So there's a good amount of piss on there.
There's a lot of piss on here.
Okay.
Let's go Vance Hill. Let's go Vance Hill.
Could you say again?
Because of the smell that was emanating from it.
Could you say again?
I also think that's the reason why the lady of the night didn't want to be around the bed, because the smells that came around it.
Yeah, I think that too.
In one of the comments she made, I don't think you played it. She did say that it smelled of feces, and she thought she saw brown stains.
Yes.
And it just got her sick.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, I did play that.
Okay.
Let's go.
I wasn't sure because this video jumps around a little bit. So
yeah, I jump around a little too.
Vance Hill beats up.
Here we go.
Yeah. Mr. Goldstriker, are you expecting to be in Creator Clash next year?
I am, yeah.
I'm sorry to make the clip so short, but I decided in making this that I don't want you guys to...
Lady Nighthawk, there's no justice in this world. Well, I'm not going to give the whole story. I'm going to let you see the end yourself. It's not that much longer.
See this. I'm just going to explain to you what Chris has in his hands at this moment. He has a piece of toilet paper that has been freshly used by himself, and that is his submission for the challenge, one that I think would have won in the first place. It's absolutely disgusting.
Yes.
He describes what he's been eating. He holds it up to the camera. I really felt like throwing up during this one, guys.
Me too.
But that's not even the end of it, because Sam tells him that the piece of toilet paper and the stuff that is attached to it are two separate items. So Chris has to get the stuff off, and then it can be his item. So Chris does that with his bare hands, presents it to Sam.
You were gonna say?
Yeah. First, I love his hairdo here on this one as well.
The shaved crap head.
But what I don't like is how they said that the issue they had with him is his nastiness was on the toilet paper. You need to have it off. Well, the lady behind with this mattress, the nastiness is on the mattress, but she didn't have to have it off. The guy with the shorts, nastiness was in the shorts. There was no separation of items on the shorts. So why are they saying that he had to separate the toilet paper and the contents for it to count?
You know something? This is that is a good question. That's like like that's something that he should if he doesn't get his prize money or they don't get their prize money, they should definitely bring that up, because that's legitimate. I don't have an answer for you.
$1,000 for something he has to do special.
Yeah, I don't have an answer for you on that.
And the camera, and proceeds to win $1,000. Again, I am sorry that the clip was so short, but I did not want you guys to see that. It is very, very gross.
But in fairness, Dainty Gorilla, he got a few $1,000s to appear on the show. So that was kind of the agreement. He agreed to kind of let himself be picked on in exchange for some money, which is questionable in its own right. But he is an adult and able to make those decisions, even if he is a bit slow.
But I think it gives you a clear insight as to where Chris's mind is during this game show. He wants to make some money, because he is homeless right now. He doesn't have a house. But this is one of those things about AirsoftFatty that will never leave my mind every time I watch him now. It's going to be the guy that did this. And that's very damaging to an online career. Surprisingly, though, it is not the biggest attempt at character assassination that he has tried during his time on Fish Tank, because one day he would take it to the next level. Earlier in the video,
Okay, this is basically the end of this segment, and then we're finally going to get to the house itself. This is the final segment here, and this is possibly the most distasteful segment. Just want to give a little, I guess just one more warning. It's only about 5 minutes, hopefully. But at everything Fatty does, this is the most distasteful to me, where he actually, I guess you could even call it assault in a way.
Yeah.
Assaults a fellow contestant. And to be fair, everybody there was kind of mutually assaulting one another. But it still is just, everything about it is just too much. I don't know. I don't like, that's why I don't like these shows in general. They always push the envelope of what's acceptable, what's not. But anyway, yeah, so it gets slightly more distasteful, I guess. I don't know how much more distasteful it can be, but it is more distasteful. So let's let it go. And it's almost over for this part.
Discussed the increasing trend of the contestants throwing strange liquids onto each other. And after doing this to one of the female contestants, she sought revenge upon Chris. She proceeded to hide in the bathroom until Chris went up to the master bedroom and doused him with soup. Chris had no more clean clothes, and he'd also gone about 2 weeks without smoking at this point. And when she covered him in his last good pair of shorts in soup, something snapped in Chris, and he raged harder than I've ever seen before.
Letty hates hearing that Simmons' book, Please Gather the Fish and John, for reading.
That's what you were gonna do with my stuff, wasn't it?
I was gonna take you in your fucking sleep. Thanks a lot, I got no clean clothes now.
Nice job playing with my pads.
Yeah, he basically just spit on her. How disgusting is that? He's such a nasty little guy.
Now don't get mad to have it done to you.
You haven't changed your clothes, you dumb whore! You haven't fucking change your fucking clothes! You haven't full-on changed your clothes!
Don't fucking spit on me.
He's just a disgusting guy. They're all disgusting here. Yes, they are, QZ. That's fair. They are all really disgusting. I'm not going to single him out worse than the others. But this is just another example of how disgusting they all are.
Anything else. I'm not trying to slow your roll, but we cannot break anything else.
There's a couple of crazy details about this clip that I did not notice the first time I watched it. The first and probably most remarkable one is that when Fatty got up and ran at Letty, he hit the side of the door frame and busted a chunk of wood completely off of it. They must be made at the same place that the cabinets are. Not gonna lie, kind of impressive on Fatty's part. But what isn't so impressive is how he unconsensually spits in a woman's face.
I think she's a video game streamer or something. Like she's like an Instagram girl. I'm not really sure. His wife is pissed off. He does scream he does have a very high-pitched voice.
3 times. Don't get me wrong, chat. This was one of my least favorite contestants on Fish Tank, but his behavior in there, especially towards the women, has been unacceptable in my opinion. He's been very creepy towards them, and then he's walking around the house completely naked, and now he's straight up assaulting them. I get that she threw soup on him, but he had done it to her before, and he'd done it to other people many times. Yeah. Chris would also steal stuff from time to time just to stir up drama in the tank. He would only have problems when it happened to him. And this kinda seems to be a reoccurring issue with Chris, especially in his time on Fish Tank. And as crazy as it sounds, this game show was just the boost that Fatty's career needed. The producers of the show were just...
I gotta tell you, Elizu, I don't even know if we'd be able to see it to know. Like, I don't even know if we'd be able to find it to even tell how big it is, because he's just so covered in, it's like stuck in there somewhere.
Yeah, did you see on that showing where he was going up the stairs how his feet were exactly the same as they were when he fell?
Yes, I noticed that. His feet are more off the stair than they are on the stair.
Yeah, so that was definitely real.
Yeah.
Brutal on him as they were on the other contestants. But they also really cared about Chris because they set up a GoFundMe where people could donate money so that after Chris left the Fish Tank, he wouldn't be homeless. The $10,000 goal was quickly met and exceeded. So when Chris did return home, he had made a couple $1,000s from completing challenges, as well as around 13 grand from the GoFundMe they had set up. And though he had to go through hell to get it, it had seemed like Fatty had gotten a second chance. Okay. And he decided that...
So now I wanted to set the stage, because I didn't want to make fun of this guy's living situation, unless you kind of saw that he was a bit of a nasty fellow to begin with. So what's going on with him right now? So now we're finally at the present. He just finished the show. Just raised $15,000 of cash money to improve his living situation. So how does he improve his living situation? What does he do with that 15 grand? Does he use it as a down payment on a property? Does he use it to maybe pay a year's lease on a room? Does he try to buy a small trailer? What does he get? A mobile home? What does he get? Well, let's see. Let's see what he does.
With this money that he had been given, he would create a tiny home for himself in the middle of the woods. He went out and bought a large shed and plans to create what he calls his forever home out of it.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy. I'm definitely not no Earl, but it's your boy Fatty. And today, I'm excited to announce that the Fatty
Good
Cave
investment.
has finally been delivered.
There you go.
The shell that we're going to work on, the place that shall become my forever home. And hopefully one day, maybe I'll bring a Francine home of my own.
It's cute. It looks cute at first. Let's see how it ends up, right, QZ? Starts nice.
Home sweet cave. That being said, as you guys can see, simple layout. So maybe, you know, I have a lady friend over, we get married.
Maybe he has a lady friend over. Has he ever had a lady friend? Because I don't think the girl he spit in her face, I don't think she counts as a friend. Just saying.
Around a little bit, well, you know, I should shower, I can take a shit. And, you know, get a little show, you know, a shitting show, if you would. And then what I would love to do, in all honesty, we got 2 different lofts here. What I'd love to do,
this Charlie Brown shirt.
Like, I don't know, make like a ladder to go up to that one specifically. But if I had to.
See, now I already see a problem with this detective, and you could tell me what you think, but these little loft areas here, I don't think these are adequate to support him, and even if they were, I don't think he could easily get in there and out of there. Did you think he had any chance of doing that?
I think he could. He would need to have a pretty steep ladder to be able to go up there. I mean, you're looking at a set of 2x4s running on the eye and then capped off with, you know, probably just some plywood. If they reinforced it going front to back on those beams, just to give it a more of a lattice shape, then I think it wouldn't have an issue holding.
But even if they could hold him climbing that ladder, you know, especially maybe at night or if he had a drink or something, I just don't think he can climb that ladder safely.
Yeah, I don't think he would make it safely. He'd probably need to have the ladder be the entire length of one of the walls in order for him to be able to make it up that high.
Yeah, he needed a staircase. He couldn't climb like a straight up ladder.
No. That's staircase. That's what I was referring to. Yeah. It's not like a bunk bed ladder.
Yeah.
But I was counting them back there, and it looks like there was 7 spacings. Is that what I count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
There might be one more on this past that, but
okay, so that would make it a 10-foot wide, and I'm going to guess probably 16.
That sounds about right, because I mean, just eyeballing it, that to me that sounds about right from what I've seen.
So you know that's not
the size of a large room.
Yeah. So I mean, it definitely there's tiny houses that are smaller than this, but those are also for owners that are smaller than Chris.
Yeah, like Elizu said, for small people. I mean, Chris is not tall, to be fair. I think he's actually kind of short from what I remember. He's only like 5'5" or something. He's a pretty short guy, but he's so round. He's just so, he's very fat. I mean, he calls himself fatty and he's not wrong. He's a fat dude. And he doesn't have any plans to get his weight under control. So this place is just, I just don't see how this can suit him, but we're going to find out if it does or it doesn't. And Blue Eyes says maybe he needs a guardian to help him make decisions. And I kind of think you're right. And that's part of the issue Fatty's had, is that he's had a string of quote unquote managers. The problem is these managers don't always have his best interest at heart. And even if they do, he doesn't always want to go along with what's in his best interest. So it's
yeah, and
a tough
there
situation.
are so many things as this air quote house comes to fruition that I have issues, major issues with.
Yeah, we're about to get into that in just a second.
Yeah, because my background grew up jack of all trades, so we have the experience of building our own sheds, barns, stuff like that ourselves, remodeling houses. So we got the carpentry skills. And when I'm looking at what he is doing inside this shed, it is frightening.
Well, then let's just jump straight into the shed itself, because this video by Smokey McCrack, I'm going to post the link one last time. But this is about the end of that's basically the end of this video, even though there's a little more, because after this is what I want to cover directly. I want to cover this directly with you. Fatty's original videos about the place itself. So here's where we start with Fatty's actual content. Now this is all directly off of AirsoftFatty's channel. I'm going to put a link one time. If you want to give him a link, if you want to follow him, there you can.
I mean, I see several things right now that would make me cringe.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy.
Yeah, I'm not seeing a lot of insulation.
It's your boy
Welcome
Fatty.
in, Zermarie.
And today, I'm excited to announce.
Oh, and I probably should mention where this is. I believe this is in New York State. That's his manager's property. Yet he's still not as fat as Foodie. You know what's funny, Oranges? He looks so massively fat, but then you remind me of Foodie, and then I'm like, he's really not that big. Like, then I think about Foodie, and I realize he's really not that big. AT Grillis was looking into buying that shed for a goat.
Lucky goat.
Well, a goat, I think for a goat, it would be quite nice.
Fatty Cave has finally been delivered.
The Fatty
The
Cave.
shell that we're going to work on. The place that shall become my forever home. And hopefully one day, maybe I'll bring a Francine home of my own. That being said, my boss is a silent Triceratops. He's an asshole.
You can see the mosquitoes flying around. Around, like even in there, you can see that.
Screw him. Why don't we go ahead and look inside the place?
So many mosquitoes.
And give you guys an idea of what we're going to do.
Look at all the mosquitoes. You see how many mosquitoes there are? Like, I could actually see them in the video. That's how many mosquitoes there are. Just watching the video, I'm getting itchy. Like serious, look at the door frame. Watch the mosquitoes flying around the door frame as he opens it. Around the door.
Give you guys an idea of what we're going to do.
Look at that. Look at all those mosquitoes. So they're not going to get a good meal.
Cave. That being said, as you guys can see,
Forever home.
Simple layout. Nothing crazy. I'm thinking, in all honesty, put the bathroom in this area. Because we already got a spot to put the wall. Honestly, the way I'm looking at it, the plaster wall.
One thing about Fatty is the fatter he gets, the smaller his lips get. Does anybody else notice? You notice that about him?
You tile up the floor, you put a little drain in there, and then you just hook up I would do a shower, instead of a shower head, like a shower hose, that you pull off, and shower in. The shower could literally fit, and not even all that, just like that. It would work just fucking fine. With the hair done up, make it look nice. You could probably put the sink right.
No, Blue Eyes. He didn't buy any land. This isn't his land. This is his producer's parents' land, apparently. And this is just, there's no permit for anything as far as I can tell. There's no concrete slab on the ground. They just laid it straight on the ground without even building up a pile of sand. I mean, Detective Cochise, is that normally wouldn't they put up like a pile of sand or a foundation of some kind?
Well, if you're going to try to use it as a house, you would definitely want to. The biggest issue would be it would probably turn it into what they would call a permanent dwelling, whereas right now, if it's sitting either directly on the ground or in a gravel pit, it would be non-permanent building, so that you wouldn't need any kind of special permits. But if he's planning to live on it for more than 10 years, he's got some serious issues. These sheds are built on 4x4 runners. So at the bottom of the shed is basically 4x4s that goes from the front to the back. And then they build the 2x4 frame for the flooring on top of those. Now, what they did, as you said, is they put it directly onto the ground. So yeah, they're pressure treated. It'll help, but being directly on the ground, you're going to get that excess moisture. You're going to get the insects coming in, the termites and everything else, because it is directly on the ground. Now, for a size this much, you don't really need to have it on a full concrete, but you still need to have the draining there. So if I was going to build this one, what I would do is, it's already got the 4 sleds, is I would pour some concrete pillars along it, and then set some foundation blocks on top of this concrete fillers that are also surrounded by pea gravel. So you have your drainage around the pillars, and then on top of that have the foundation blocks that will actually hold the rails up. And what that will do is give you that extra distance, not only from the ground to keep the water away, but the bugs further away, and you would get that airflow that's needed to keep it dry and the moisture to be removed and the mold and mildew not to be getting as built up. So the entire foundation that he's put it on is literally probably going to last 5 years.
And he's talking about forever home.
Right. And I mean, they didn't even grade the ground.
Yeah.
So it's just sitting on the ground. So that's the reason I was going a little bit light on the number. I mean, it could go, 10 years with issues if it was at least on flat ground, but with it not being even flat, who knows?
Welcome in, Allura. Sorry to cut you off there. I was welcoming in Allura.
No. He's going to have flooring issues right off the bat. I mean, no doubt about it. The other issue is it is made out of chip wood, so that's better than MDF. But if you look at the outside of it, it is using panel. What do they call that crap? It's this cheap bead paneling. And what happens with that is any kind of moisture that gets into any of the bead grooves, because I believe that one may be tongue and groove, any kind of moisture that gets behind it and behind that paint, it's just going to lift out and bubble away from the plywood.
So in other words, this is this isn't really heavily weatherproofed. It's a short-term shed. It's not made for a long-term thing. And QZ says, sounds like you're very knowledgeable on these subjects. That's part of why Detective's up here tonight. I figure you could provide a little more knowledge than me. I know a little bit about this stuff, but not that much. I'm not especially handy. And Oranges asks, does it snow where he lives? Yes. This is in upstate New York, from my understanding. So snow is definitely going to be an issue. So let's let the video run a little bit.
What's it being upstate? I'm sorry.
Right there. So maybe, I have a lady friend over, we're married, we want to fool around a little bit. Well, while she showers, I can take a shit. And, get a little show, a shitting show, if you would. That being said, I think over here is probably where I'm going to put, I'm thinking like a regular computer or dinner chair here. Just kind of fill that.
You're looking at this window, and I'm not, again, the most practiced eye with construction, but this does not look like a thickly insulated window. This looks like this is terrible for a place that you're going to actually live inside. Like for a storage shed, this is perfectly fine. But if you're actually
it
going to live
almost looks
there,
like a single pane.
yeah, it looks just like a plain single pane and just not a lot of, I mean, you're gonna have to put your own caulking in there, I guess, to really seal it. But yeah, just this doesn't look like a heavily built structure to
No,
my
it is not.
untrained eyes.
Spot out. I'm thinking put
Yes, indeed.
small sofa here. We set the computer desk up under that window. I get a bigger monitor than I have now, so it looks like a TV. And we wouldn't have to worry about that. And
Sorry,
then what I would
swatting at the
love to do,
mosquitoes.
for all honesty, we got 2 different lofts here. What I'd love to do is try to get like, I don't know, make like a ladder to go up to that one specifically. But if I had to, probably would have to do that one. Either way, I do want to set up a sleeping area in the lofts. But I think to start with, I'll probably be sleeping on the sofa. Either way, this is perfect.
Daisy Gorilla, I can answer that really quickly. Why did he buy this? Well, I don't know why he bought this particular model, but his plan was to have a forever home. This was supposed to be where he's going to live for the rest of his life for $15,000. And yeah, why he bought this crappy shed on his producer's property, I don't know what he's thinking. Do you have something you wanted to add, Detective?
Couple of other building items I saw is if you look at the way the trusses attached to the headers on the walls, they're just toenailed in. The rest of them are actually using steel mesh, but these are just toenailed in. So any type of heavy snow during the wintertime will start to really push down on those headers and possibly cause them to slide out. So they really need to go in and reinforce those trusses. The installation issue is going to be pretty bad. They're going to have to really stuff that thing good with a high R value. A couple of the other things I saw is he already mentioned how they're going to need a drain. Any type of
there's still
water
a bunch more videos that we're going to be covering with a lot of this. Let's save some of this for those other videos because we're going to be doing a few more after this one as well, covering more of the construction itself.
All right, I'll stick to just the framing then.
Yeah, this is just a little preview. Then we're going to go into the next one. There's a whole. We're not going to be able to cover them all.
It's affordable. I own this. None of you haters out there can screw me over in my living situation anymore. This guarantees I got a roof over my head. And
there you go. That's the reason why he bought this. Because in his twisted mind, he thinks that this guarantees a roof over his head for, I don't know how long, a year at most. Yeah, how long will the roof even last? Elizu, yeah, I get what you're saying. His job, quote unquote, right now is a streamer, YouTuber, but I don't think he makes very much money. And I don't think he has much growth potential either. I don't see him expanding his audience beyond where it already is. So that's kind of the issue he has with that. As far as I can tell, it's actually just a shed. It wasn't really designed to be a small house.
Absolutely correct.
Yeah, this looks just like an uninsulated shed.
I think he was watching a little too much of the Trailer Park Boys and got a little envious of Bubbles.
I haven't seen that show, but I can only imagine.
Oh, yeah. They live, obviously, Trailer Park Boys live in the trailer park, but Bubbles actually converted a shed into a tiny home.
That's probably what he
it's
saw.
not the lap of luxury. This isn't a freaking mansion like Will Smith would have. But you know what? We're going to make it into a mansion. We're going to make this thing beautiful. The best part is, if I ever wanted to switch locations, this is going to be the easiest thing to fucking move on earth. So all you haters out there are like, oh, it's just a shed. No. It's potential. Potential is everything to me.
We saw how you used your potential to clean up your mother's house.
Okay, so here's the next part. Fattyshack. This is only 1 minute long. Let's let this one run.
Okay, here's our goal. We've talked about the plans that we're gonna do. We're gonna start to get materials tomorrow, start to do the framing, start to get the electric in. We need to plan some other things like the position of where we're gonna put the sinks, where we're gonna put the shower, and the position of all the bathroom items. And we'll consult with you when we place the kitchen exactly where it's gonna be so that you're comfortable with that. And then we're gonna start the journey tomorrow. Okay? There's going to be still a lot of planning tonight. I'm going to probably be up till midnight planning. I've got to write down every little detail so that we make sure that we have all the materials that are the exact materials that we need and not ones that we don't need. Okay?
Yeah.
So I feel pretty confident. It's not going to be easy. It's going to be a tough job, but we'll get some electric cable in tomorrow, and we'll do the framing, and we'll be on the way.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
All right, man.
Okay, so let me just answer a question, then Detective, we can get your thoughts. Cam says, what about a septic system? I don't think that's an option because this isn't his land. This is his producer's parents' land, and I don't know if they're going to want Fatty hooking up to their septic system or their sewer or whatever. I don't know what they have on that land already, but he hasn't made any plans for that. And if there's anything this guy needs, it's a way to eliminate waste because, I mean, he is a waste factory. What do you think of that? Their plans there, Detective? Does that sound reasonable? This guy here is the general contractor.
What's that?
This guy here is the equivalent of a general contractor for the job.
Yeah. If he was putting something inside the house, he would definitely require some type of movement out of the property. So he would need a fully operating toilet, which I don't think that is going to fit in there with his massive shower that he's adding in. But as far as disposal, you have your two basic choices of a sanitation pit or a leach field. So you can install either one of those. Get one of the giant sewer tanks that you can bury in the ground, and then you have to have somebody come out and empty them every once in a while. Or using a leach field, which is just basically underground hosing that takes it a couple 100 feet to 500 feet out and then branches it with corrugated piping so that all of the waste can, go naturally into the ground further out, but you still have issues with those clogging and you still have to do
I don't think he's planned for anything like that though. I don't think I think he in his mind is thinking that he's going to get like an outhouse and somebody's just going to come by and clean it out for him on a regular basis. I don't know what his plan is, but I think that's what he thinks.
He puts a outhouse out there. He can do either of those as well using the sanitation tank or leach field, or he can, as you said, use the old fashioned pit method where it does require shoveling and cleaning. And
I think he's built a lot like Chantal too. And you notice him sitting here, he has that same shape. I think he and Chantal have a similar shape.
At this point, I think he's just planning on using those trees in the back outside his window there.
In fact, I think that's what he does use. So let's go to the next part here, where he actually buys some wood.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're here at Home Depot. We're looking for some volley. We're looking for some flooring, and what the fuck is this?
The property value, I don't even think they're fully aware that this is what exists. I think their son probably told them that he's got like a building project or something. He's going to be doing something back in the woods. I don't think the family actually knows that this guy's going to be living there full time. Because if they did, I don't think they'd be okay with it. But anyway, quick 1 minute.
Last time I was in a Home Depot,
bit about fatty shopping.
wood prices were not this bad. You see this? Big old piece of wood, nice and hard.
This is United States, America, and I believe he's in New York State, Susie Q.
It's like in the mornings. Problem is, 76 freaking bucks. With the taxes, that's $100. 89 freaking bucks. With taxes, 110 bucks.
I think a mobile home might have made more sense because at least it would be better insulated.
Well, I'm trying to figure out what exactly is he wanting to use this wood paneling for.
The general contractor in the next videos will show us, hopefully.
Because,
unless he's going to steal it.
Yeah, and inside the house, you would use your drywall around the shower and water areas. You would get your.
I think they use this to build a counter or something like that. I think they use this to build some cabinets or something. I'm not sure.
All right.
What's the point of making wood so expensive? You're making wood shop impossible to survive, and schools already don't have the funding for most of the stuff they got. I mean, even
Yes, he will.
cheap rent, right? Maybe you said, okay, the 76, the 89, the 76 28 ain't good. So you come over here, like, okay, maybe this will be cheaper, right? Yeah, no, it's still gonna cost you a couple of toes and fingers. So, yeah. I can see why people don't want to be carpenters anymore. I can see why people don't want to get into this hard work anymore. Because it's too freaking expensive to work in. Jesus, America, get your shit right.
This Lowe's guy, though.
All right, this video here where they go to the Home Depot and they go shopping a lot, this one is not too interesting. We're going to skip ahead.
Bro, honestly, I gotta talk to you because you hired us, and as soon as we get here, I realized nothing was in sorts. Everything's out of whack. This panel hasn't been used since 1983. You have me come up 3.5 hours to upstate New York. Nothing makes any sense, dude. I'm fucking tired of this shit. I'm like here trying to work, get this all in order. You guys are smoking pot. No one cares. I'm trying to get this thing in order. Things are half rusted. This is the wrong panel.
Is this drama?
I know like you're a big YouTuber, but dude, you gotta cut me some slack. This is...
Did we not go shopping together, motherfucker, to get said panel? Did we not go shopping, motherfucker, for the showers?
You guys showed up an hour late. I was sitting there, dude, and when you walk around...
I think it's supposed to be a comedy skit, because this is not, they don't seem to actually be angry at each other. We're going to go ahead to the next one.
Remember, nobody but my cousin had the balls.
So here you go. You can actually see Fatty doing some work here. He's going to handle the wood a little bit. He's going to walk around. He's going to touch it and not really do much else.
Dude, it's so hot.
I know.
But I'm gonna try with the, you know, the old saw. Yeah.
Fatty was told that, oh, by the way, I probably should mention, these contractors, they agreed to do the work for free, basically. But they said that Fatty would have to help out so that he could learn how it works, so that if something breaks, he'll be able to repair it. And he has to help out with the construction. Let's see how much help he provides.
Ladybird, chill. I am not buzzsaw certified.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, I'm not.
Yeah, you are. You know what's gonna make you certified?
I'm not a hat guy.
As soon as you wear this, you become certified. There you go. Now you pull this out a little bit so we have room for your saw. You're gonna take your left hand, stabilize like this, line up, and cut. You have to hold in with your right thumb and then pull on the trigger. Come on, dude, you got it.
Okay, we got it.
We're not gonna let you cut your finger off. You remember what he said?
Yeah.
So the safety's right here. I didn't say you were.
Look how confident he is.
Ready? Hold your hand right here. Your other hand right here. I'll hold the board for you.
Ready?
Yeah.
He needs this other guy to hold it for him just so he can do it.
First cut ever.
His safety glasses fell off. Look at how his safety goggles are off halfway.
Yeah, baby.
Look how his safety goggles completely fell off, too.
Oh, I'm too sweaty. I really am. I'm too sweaty, dude.
You want to try the other one?
Yeah,
No, I would not trust him with that either.
I'm still gonna be nervous as shit.
He needs 2 other people to watch him just to make sure he doesn't cut himself.
Hold it with 2 hands. I got the board. Put your second hand on that little knob.
Sure.
Yeah, I got the board.
Gotta get a little better than that.
Not bad though.
You didn't even cut it right.
Straighten it out.
Trying to do, hold on.
Yeah, Fatty is not the most impressive craftsman.
There we go.
Yeah, baby.
A little bit more. Let's go ahead a little more to see some more of the construction work itself.
You made me throw out the doorway.
You could really see how small this place is when you have 4 people standing in front of it. Like, now you can really see how tiny it is. Like, look how small this place is.
So, he's a good guy, dude.
Yeah, I think this is funny too. That's why I thought this was a good segment for a show. We're only got like another 15 minutes. I don't know if we're gonna finish this another time. I think we may bring back a fatty segment in the future.
They're not going to film that anyway. And then it's only a couple feet away.
Skinny Queen should be coming on tonight. I think she said she is. I'm not sure.
Unless you want that.
If she is, please let me know.
People already commented that it's inspired by 2 years. Yeah? Yeah. The same thing that we said, they immediately said it. They expect stickers 2 years late.
I think he needs to put one of them cinder blocks there to make a step.
Yeah, right? He looked like that. That was not an easy step up at all.
Fatty!
I agree, QZ. You know what? I will say this, QZ. I think the problem is this place is, it's just a shed. It's not designed to be a small house. I think that if he had an actual small house and he kept it up nice, it could be okay. But this place here is really more like a shed. It's not really designed to be a house. And as we're going to see, it doesn't really come together too well.
Yeah. You can see right there in the back is his rear ventilation vent. That's probably only
oh wow,
4 by 7 inches. May have one in the front as well. That is not going to do any good in any form of weather. I mean, he needs to have some form of a box vent or a ridge vent up there in order to get at least some of that hot air.
Yeah, this place has neither ventilation nor insulation.
Yeah, well, the insulation, you know, comes afterwards. You just stuff it between all of the 2x4s and then put your drywall over it. So that is.
Well, I mean, yes, they could insulate it. That's up to them. I guess it's true as much as they want to do it.
Yeah, they still have to run all the electric lines and water lines and everything that will go through.
But I don't think they actually did any insulation. I didn't see all the other episodes. We're gonna skip through some of them and see. But I don't know if they even put any insulation.
They have to.
We'll see what they do. I don't know. All right, let's let it run. Because this place has been finished. Spoiler alert, it's been finished. So we're not gonna be able to see the ending today because we are gonna probably run out of time.
I'm gonna have to scoot it a bit. So you see that line that I made? You're just gonna climb up this ladder.
Oh, I'm absolutely fucking terrified.
You only need to go up.
Hold on a second. Is this sped up? Is this working properly?
Two of the rungs.
It don't make me feel comfy.
So lift that way a little bit. Let's see what it is. Okay, so maybe turn. You get one here and one on the top, away from the metal.
So these are the reinforcements they're putting in? These 2x4s?
I'm not sure what this is for. I think they're going to probably use that as to make it more of a flat roof over the ledge back there. I'm not sure what they're planning to do with that.
Maybe it's just reinforcements, so if snow gets on top, it'll make it stronger.
Yeah, but I would think if they were doing that, they would triangulate it.
I don't know. I just can't imagine what else it could be.
No, who knows?
Let's find out. We'll see in a minute, won't we?
Do that. Yeah. Okay? That's the reason. If you have any questions, he makes everything better.
Handle the fuck out of this thing. Now what about the next? Do I need to do another one above each loft?
What?
No worries, crab apples.
Do I continue all the way down?
Yes, sure.
Yes, it is shaped like a
one
soccer
more here
ball.
on this side. That's done.
Oh, no worries, crab apples.
What's
he doing?
Feels like there's weights on it.
Making a hole saw
Oh.
and cut off the drill bit so that it'll be act as a pilot point for the center of the hole.
Oh, I got you. Fatty, I think Fatty is shaped like Chantal. I think if we saw Chantal without a shirt, she would look kind of like Fatty. Like they both have that really, really round shape where they're like they get wider as they get lower.
Oh, look, there's a sky. Oh, it's a sky.
I think it's called the soccer ball,
16,
like you said.
24 inches insulation. Insulation. Okay, then we need 16.
Your interior vertical studs are 16, roof studs are 24 center.
30 by 7.
Oh, maybe Elizu. Yeah, he does seem to put on a lot of visceral fat. And the way he eats is terrible. Have you ever seen? He does cooking shows. I think that what he's doing here is they're. Oh, say again.
He could at least move so they could work.
I think that they're actually want him there because they're using him to like determine the shape of the area they need for something, like for the
Bed.
Yeah, either for the bed or for the shower stall, something like that.
Oh yeah, maybe for the distance out from the wall.
I think that's what they're working on this.
This is the most bizarre job that I've ever been on. You got a sleeping guy next to me.
Yes.
Where's the charger for the battery?
He does cooking shows. I plan to come back to this guy in the future. This is just part one.
So we need 1, 2, 3. We need 4 at 77 inches.
Yeah, right?
And then when we check our plumb, we'll figure out.
Oh yeah, his knees. Now I see what you mean. Dainty. His knees are very dark. I wonder if that's from kneeling. He's getting black and blue marks from all the weight on his kneecaps.
Yeah, I think we're just gonna do.
He looks half dead. Like they won't even be able to get him back up.
We said tape it.
Yeah, I think they're doing.
Ah! He fell asleep.
This later.
I know it's not funny, but it is funny. It's not funny, but it is funny. He fell asleep doing it, probably because he has sleep apnea. But then they gave him Odalizo dropping like one of your French girls. Is he gonna lay down in the shower? I know, right? Like I don't know. They should drill a hole in his head and check his brain. You know something? I could just see Fatty like taking the drill, and they give him the drill to drill the wall, and he's just so out of it that he drills a hole in his head. Because he just doesn't think. He accidentally does it. Yeah, that's not the first bug that's gonna crawl on him in that place, and he hates bugs. So living out in the woods is not a good idea if you hate bugs. Look how petrified he is.
What the fuck was that?
What was it? What?
Y'all put a fucking bug on me, didn't you?
No, I had a bug crawl on me too.
Chris, don't bug it.
It's a different one.
It's also 16 feet, not 20 feet.
It is?
It is funny. Okay, Allura agrees it's funny.
8 by 6, 10 by 16?
You thought you could stop that, stop that.
4 feet out there. That's 10 by 20.
20 supports.
Wow. Okay, so we got 12 by 16 is
He has no lips at all. Look at him. He's like a. Like I'm trying to think. Is that like a turtle? Like he has no lips, and his chin is so odd too. Like his whole face is odd. I'm not like you know. I don't want him to like hate himself or anything. But he's just such an odd looking fellow.
It's the head.
Like a Peter Griffin chin. Yes.
Where? What?
Right there, it's lies.
Are you afraid of bugs?
Maybe one right there, yeah.
They're not gonna hurt you. That's a beetle. It won't hurt you.
Kill it.
That's it.
Murder.
I'm trying to have big ass bugs in this house. What's the other way?
Wait, get some. Which way are you going? No, we need to go. I don't know what the shit you doing.
All right, we're gonna skip ahead just a little more. There's like 10 parts to this. Okay. So here's what they're doing. The whole time he's been. Did you guys realize the entire time where they built this, he's been laying there.
I just need a nap, you know what I mean? No, I need a nap.
It's double board. That's probably going to be a door frame.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you going to be doing some canoe?
Maybe this will be where they plan to put the shower.
You got to do the canoeing, man. So, you can put some
32 inches out.
Wait, let me get mine first.
I think he and Chantal should be a couple.
Now we're gonna put the panel.
I think they deserve each other.
Stuff, you know, the panel. Figure out what stuff like it's going. He didn't put the hammer up.
Important thing to notice. Here they're installing the electrical box. The electrical box, you want it to be easily accessible, right? Just keep in mind the position of this box.
I should never assess the plants for him. When I did, now, we need another, hold on, hold it for
You know, Chantal let her chin show the other day. The haram chin.
The towel.
Now, food fights.
Sometimes he has like a 6-footer.
Would they be fighting with the food, or would they be fighting over the food? Like, who would be allowed to have it? Like, no, it's my food. You can't have it. I think they'd be fighting to the death over the food. Oh, by the way, Skinny, if you're gonna go on tonight, just let me know what time, and I'll shoot people over there, because I don't know if I'm gonna run till 10 or 10:30. It's up to you. Yeah, his mouth does look a little bit.
Dude, that goes down to his knees almost. Whole wear a do-rag out of torn cloth with Crocs and suspenders on.
Right.
Okay, so this is basically the end of part 1.
Yeah, it's supposed to be, I think, almost a little higher.
There's a snake on there. He just lays there the whole time. That's it.
Oh, he's helping. He's really making sure that it doesn't flip up on the front porch.
He's counterbalancing it. Well, don't worry, Skinny. I could probably run till a little bit later than in that case. Yeah, which one? Okay, so let's put on the next segment of Fatty.
Simple, easy to fix. You know, if I want to keep it clean, it's super simple.
Oh, here they have this machine for smoking weed. Let's look and see what happens here.
We just need a slide on the other side. It's take away. We could actually put one of those like curly slides. You guys are talking about my hand, right? Where are we going?
This is my fault, right? Why couldn't we make a staircase ladder? You know what I'm saying? Why couldn't we make a staircase ladder?
It's because you under all
Get back! Get back to where you was, but no. Get back over there.
Okay, so now they're starting to get a little more assembled.
So there's my shower. It's nothing special like me, but it does have special needs. And there's the hole. That's where the water from the shower is going to be the funk of the day. And
Look how sweaty he is also.
it's going to be a good shower.
Okay, now see this weed smoking machine they have?
So what made you choose simplistic living, tiny house?
Yeah, I wanted to own where I live, but I also wanted something just simple, and complex. You know, if it's something breaks, it's not simple, easy to fix. You know.
As far as I can tell, this guy here is the manager. This is the one who gets him his weed, keeps him on, basically helps produce his channel, makes a little bit of money. And I have no clue what this device for smoking weed is. This is the most complicated and advanced weed smoking machine I've ever seen. This looks like something that you would use to resuscitate somebody, doesn't it? Or like to fix your car. Looks like something that a tow truck would have.
If I want to keep it clean, it's super simple, easy to do. There's honestly no fuck.
Yeah, right. Welcome back, Chad.
You gonna hire a maid?
I mean, I need to take my first.
Where's the well? Good question.
I gotta find somewhere where it's like 300 a month will come out.
You can always use a cistern.
You heard of topless painting?
Yeah, they might have one. They might have.
Band-aids?
They might have. I mean, I guess it depends. But you'd think that a well would be easy to dig around here. But yes, what a waste of money. Just roll a doobie. I'm not going to tell people to smoke or not to smoke, but that device looks like overkill. It really does. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's the greatest thing ever. Who knows?
I like you for one of those. Any ladies in the New York area? Trying to clean this?
Oh man.
Yeah.
It looks like, you know what that looks like? It looks like an air pressure, a tire pressure gauge.
That's
Or
what I
one of
was
those-
thinking.
Yeah, it looks like it's for
pump.
refilling a tire. Imagine if accidentally he got it mixed up with one of those tire inflators and he blew up his lungs by trying to suck on one of those high pressure air hoses. And why does he sound like Kermit but sadder? Because he looks like a soccer ball but sadder. I don't know. Looks like a bike pump. Yes, that's what it looks like. Bike pump for exploding your lungs with cannabis smoke.
I'm trying to help you. This is an all-in-one service. I built your house. I help you get your life together.
Get the house together, then we talk about your life together.
And then you said that you go to the gym with me too. Yeah. Yeah, you said it yesterday.
I did that.
Yes, you did.
Get back with him.
Clever girl.
Now, there's one trick I know I use shower basins like that. Is they when I last did our house, put concrete underneath it. So you would set the pipe in place for the drain, and then you put concrete all around it, and then you would set it into the concrete. And what that does is it keeps the fiberglass basin from bending or warping under, the different weights that you may be stepping on it. It keeps the entire thing fully.
You mean for the tub?
Yeah, the basin for the shower.
Oh, the shower. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
I mean, they seem to be doing everything on the cheap, though, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, and plus being a wood floor, I don't know what you wouldn't just slap concrete cure on top of a piece of wood, because that would totally destroy the wood. So, with his weight on stepping in on the edges of that tub could definitely cause issues down the road if they can't find something underneath it to support it.
I wonder if they've come clean to Chris and explained to him that this place is not a forever home, and he's being a fool by planning it to be one. So he should either plan for it to last a few years and not invest too much money, or he should, that's really the only way to do it. He should stop trying to make this thing last forever, because the more money he invests, the more money he's going to lose. This place is not going to last forever. It just can't.
No.
So he's kind of being a fool by investing extra money into certain things, in my opinion.
Yeah, 5-10 years is my guess right now, the way it's...
Buying anything that's going to last longer than that is a waste of money. He would be homeless, but he has this shack. Although this shack is on land he doesn't own. So it's questionable if he's truly homed or not.
If it's not in a permanent spot, he can put it on a truck and relocate it to a plot of land if he wanted to.
I just can't see his relationship with his manager wearing down faster than that property. You know what I mean? Like, I have a feeling he'll be allowed to leave the house there longer than the house will stay up.
Oh.
That's grim.
All I do is work. I'm a goddamn animal.
He's got 5 brothers.
Enjoying a smoke? Well, Fatty enjoys a smoke. Everybody's it's definitely a smoking property.
Oh, you go to town on me.
Well, it's got that little tiny vent. It'll be fun.
They got that little. You know what they got to do? They got to seal up that vent so they don't let all this good smoke out. There's only one vent to
This is
seal.
sauna and a hot box.
Right? They could hotbox this place pretty easily. He just wrestles with this thing for like another 10 minutes.
So I got the power now. We got all the power. We've got the wires to here. Now I just gotta hook it on the other side and flip it right.
All right, finally got the wires in.
Get in there.
There's like no weed protector.
That could happen. Yeah, that would have been smart.
How shallow that hole
At the
was?
center of our fucking shack.
Say again?
Did you say how shallow that hole was?
No, I didn't. With the one they just had a second ago?
Yeah, that he had his hand in.
That one. Okay, yeah, it was shallow.
Yeah, 4-inch 90-degree elbow probably won't even fit into that. They'll probably have to trench it.
Yeah, that is shallow. He barely even got his hand in there.
He's got to remember, they're always
growing
sitting
up
on
at the center of our
4x4
fucking shack.
77.
Rails.
This whole idea is so
we're going to put a center valve for the shower valve, and they're going to have a stud on either side of it. So we've got to make a valve.
Yeah, we got to have them right here.
So center.
He's about to 77.
You know what he seems like to me? He seems like somebody who's got a good intentions, but just isn't really like. I don't know. I can't say for sure, but I will say for $15,000, I feel like they could have done a little bit better than this.
Valve's going to go right here. So it's interior, so it's nice and warm. Okay.
You could have got an actual tiny house for that much.
That's what I'm saying. They could have got an actual like small prefabbed place that would have been decent shape, or maybe they could have got little like an actual little mobile home trailer. You know, like I feel like they could have got an actual trailer for that much.
Okay, so from that side, the center is that's right on 16. So that your center of this is going to be 16 from the back wall. Okay, 16, and you want the studs to be 5 inches either side, so there's a 10-inch opening. Okay, make it 6 inches the other side, so 12
It
inches.
says it's a trailer.
Actually, I'm going to mark this so it'll be
So we tried to figure this out from 3.5 hours away from upstate New York, all doing it through the internet. I just met you guys for the first time. We've had to spend 2 hours each morning buying all this stuff. So.
Yeah, this points out that these guys also have never worked together before. So that's another thing. When you have a work crew where they're all strangers, basically, yeah, that's another thing you don't want to have. When you have a whole bunch of strangers and they're all don't have clearly defined tasks, they're all just going to be doing a little bit of everything. That sounds like a recipe for problems. And is Fatty happy with it? Short answer is no. Long answer is kind of. But we're going to learn a little more about that as we go on. We're going to cut through the construction a little bit faster in just a minute.
Thanks for reaching out from the post. I got you. Glad you guys came out.
Okay, here's this guy on the roof.
5 minutes.
Installing the electrical.
Hey! Hurry up out there!
Well, at least they got a metal bridge.
I ain't trying to be Mr. Flashy, but you need to hurry up.
Fatty, of course, thinks he's being funny by telling them to hurry up. He's not actually doing any work.
Sorry, boss. I'm working hard on the game, bro.
Oh. Look, telling you. $100 used to it's on.
That makes sense. What's a bunkie?
There's no way to clean sitting in here. You're good.
I'm not familiar with a bunkie, Dainty Gorilla. Are you familiar with a bunkie? I mean, I know a bunkie is having somebody sleeps on a different bunk, but it sounds like it's a type of trailer or something. I've never heard of it before.
Are those little buildings that they've been building for the homeless? Because I've seen places where they've been making rows and rows of small houses that are like maybe 4 by 8 in size, just to allow the homeless to have a place to go in, out of the weather, sleep.
Well, that sounds like it would be a better choice than this place, at least. I think Allura is correct that his living situation is only until the parents or the producer get tired of him. I absolutely, I can't see them letting him stay here for very long. But then again, this place is probably going to fall down in a few years anyway, so.
Do the best. It gives me a seat, it gives me a bed, it gives me full back support, it gives me no back support.
The only way that you're getting into the shower is if you learn to side shuffle, because with how far that your bed's sticking out and your blinds is, you're going to have half a foot. So you need to start practicing right now. Just side shuffle. That's how it's going to work.
What the fuck do you mean?
All right, if you can get it.
They're explaining to him that there's not enough room for a bed and a shower. That if they have a bed there, he's going to have to squeeze in sideways between the bed to get into the shower.
I'm gonna put the PC over here,
Using the bunk or the
up
loft.
against this wall, right?
Say again?
He's not using the loft for the bed then.
I think they've realized that it's not safe for him to climb up and down, that he's not going to be able to do it regularly. And he's only going to get heavier. He's not really going to lose weight. We know that. So at his current weight, it's not really safe for him to climb a ladder. And even if he did, they would have to, I guess they could reinforce it enough to support his weight, but it would be so cramped up there, like his stomach would hit the ceiling when he inhales. He wouldn't be able to turn around. He wouldn't be able to flip over in the bed.
Start that over. You're blowing it. You're on live TV.
Anyhow, there's PC there, couch over here. You put the stove, put the sink here, stove here.
Wow.
we already agreed on the opposite of that.
Are you fucking serious?
Okay.
The stove thing over here?
You were asleep. I tried to wake you up.
Bro, he has more than enough room.
Then I'm gonna have to put the futon here,
Don't worry
PC
about
right
nothing.
there.
Don't worry about
All
nothing.
right?
Your futon's going right here. This is a wall of appliances. It's the only way it's gonna work.
You guys literally.
So they're setting up, because they put the shower over on the right side here, they're saying they have to do all the appliances on the left. So they're going to have to do the futon bed in front of the shower instead of putting it in the back like Chris originally wanted. And they have this water heater stuck in the back here, which doesn't seem like very efficient to me. I feel like the water heater should have been up in the loft.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's hooked up to me. I wonder, I think he'd be better with more of a Murphy bed sideways along that back wall.
Yeah, they said something about a futon. That's not a bad idea, but I think I like your idea of the Murphy bed, but I don't know if that would, I have a feeling he would break it at his weight.
Really fucked me into a corner.
No, you bought yourself a tiny home.
Where the fuck do I put my PC there?
This is literally
Put it
16
anywhere
feet.
and mount it right
You
on
guys
the
said it was
wall,
20
bro.
feet. It ended up being
Bro,
16
you said
feet.
you wanted to get a big monitor. You can literally mount that bitch right here.
And then I have it get cooked over the stove.
Yeah, it's gonna swing out. We have an extendable arm.
It can swing out right here.
We're gonna have a little room in this corner. You can set your PC and TV.
You're gonna
there.
sit coffee table that right here and put it right on the coffee table. That's probably the best bet. Getting a futon, a nice coffee table.
So anybody who's having trouble keeping up, he's already complaining basically that it's not going to be enough space for all the things that he wants to put in there. And this guy here who's just kind of telling him not to worry, as far as I can tell, that's his producer who really couldn't care less about him.
One of those ones that comes up like this, Chris. All right, you want to just get a trailer?
No.
Should we just sell this?
No.
Should we just rent this out?
No.
Airbnb?
Should I piss all over the graves?
All over whose graves?
Yours.
Wow, my future grave?
Yes.
Are you talking about my family?
Oh.
That's unacceptable. After all I've done for
I
you?
kind of do this though, I can't lie.
You know the deal.
Yeah, you know the deal. We get the Pepsi cup,
They
the
can
funnel.
follow you out.
I got like an oil funnel put into a car.
No,
You can document how you've been operating pissing.
Fuck you. No, they're not.
I mean, I
pissing
literally
there.
watched
Because
you-
literally-
I
because
filmed you
literally what I
piss
do-
yourself yesterday,
No, what I
so-
what I literally do is I go back there to the little wooded area and I get into the bushes, I pull my pants off and just kind of
Squat.
piss.
So go do it.
It's raining.
The way his legs go is like kind of awkward. They kind of go out.
Go blend right in then.
You are a fucking cocksucker.
Hold it in.
I don't like tiny places. I think they're a little too small. I like a cozy place, but not that small.
Far away.
I'm gonna hook up this temporary power in the rain.
Like I would enjoy a cottage, but this place is just too small. Even it's just cramped. In my opinion, I need a little more space than this.
I've seen KOA cabins that are bigger than this.
Yeah, this is just really. I mean, I would need at least a separate kitchenette room.
Professional, do not attempt to sit on that there. If this blows up and I turn it on, just don't blame me.
I guess that's the electricity over there.
There we go. Have the jacket above that, so we'll slice it. All right, don't cut it in the water, whatever you do.
There's one more to come.
I'm gonna see if I can get a better turn.
Yeah, it should work. Let me know if it doesn't.
It would make a nice doghouse,
This wasn't
right?
supposed to be on. They accidentally put this on, and a couple weeks later had to put that on. You need to start picking up on that. Tim Allen's retired, so you might be able to steal
Who's
that.
Tim Allen?
Come on.
Yeah, tiny house wouldn't work for me. Where would I keep my piano?
Home improvement?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You borrow Sal's
You guys
keyboard.
didn't weed whack underneath?
Yeah, right. I mean, I can get a keyboard, but still, you know, you need space because you get bad echoes in this tiny house. It's very, you know, little boxy places like that. You get very bad sound.
That's your. Who was the weed whacker? Oh, I think I remember who in the video was weed whacking.
I mean, my client's
That's
very
true
respectable.
too. Can't really have guests.
Yeah, see?
Everything he did on Fish Tank was an act.
Yep.
He's a great actor. Did it work? All right. I got my phone. If you need help.
Yeah, he's not too grateful. Oh wow. And her dog is so small, like it could live in a purse, from what I remember.
Well, purse probably costs that too.
Yeah, right. Her purse probably costs more than this place anyway, too.
What's last time? Oh, the big one that we had?
You guys have made a complete mess of my home.
We threw a screw up his house.
Here's the sink.
We got holes in the wall, wiring hanging out, wood shavings everywhere. I'm gonna have to tell your father when he gets home.
In order to make an omelet, you gotta break a few eggs. Okay?
In order to cook some steak, you gotta kill a few cows.
That's true.
You're right, Skinny.
I've only been a good
What are you getting for Luna to compare to that?
I don't even know what's happening.
Probably pops where he sits.
I like, Nick, I don't know if you'll agree or not, but I
Who's
like
walking
having
in,
people like
bitch?
come into frame.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Who's walking in?
you should come. Actually, that's
John-
not.
You can do from it there, yeah.
Who's walking in?
Okay, so let's go on to the next segment.
What is up, guys? It's your boy, AirsoftFatty. And I had to drop by for a moment to chat with you guys. I'm at
So now you can see they got a little more progress done. They got some wires running now. They got the water heater they're setting up. They got looks like they have a permanent chair. They've got their permanent lighting set up. Really looking good now. You know, it's like 90% finished, I think, right? Yeah, I'll tell you, Oranges, Fatty is lucky to have had this opportunity. And I think, and I said it before, I'll say it once more, and Detective, maybe you can give me your input on this. I think the mistake Fatty made is he's not thinking scale. He's not thinking, hey, I need a place. If he really wants a place to live forever, he needs to plan forever. He can't just throw something together and expect it to last forever. If he wants a place that's going to last for a couple of years, then, hey, you know, this can do the job, but he needs to think accordingly. He has, on one hand, he wants to have a place to live forever. On the other hand, he's buying a place that's going to break in a few years. So he's completely confused.
Yeah, to me, he could be making a house out of Legos and super glue that probably hold up better than this.
It'd be more fun to build too.
And it won't rot.
Can't wait till everyone sees the bathroom. Oh, I can't wait till you see it either. And solar, you know, solar panels, when you have a place this small, solar panels actually could be efficient. But again, I don't think they're really thinking too efficiently. Better off just living in a shipping container. All right, let's let it keep going here. I think its shipping container will probably be cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter.
Yeah, it's getting caught.
Nice fancy tool on a piece of shit. I'm gonna get the other tool.
You said he's in upper state New York?
I believe he's
Should we unload
in,
everything?
Upstate New York. I'm pretty sure he's in some part of New York, but I don't know exactly where.
Yeah, he's under insulated. I believe that screen showed R12, which is way too low.
I'm sure it's not going to be enough. I mean, nothing in this place seems to be built with planning in mind. And also, doesn't he need some form of cooling? I mean, because yes, it's New York, but that looks pretty hot right now, doesn't it?
It's got windows.
It's like a sink in the...
Well, I guess it does. But will there be any
Windows
cross
and a vent.
breeze?
Don't forget that vent.
Oh, that's true. That 4-inch vent. That's gonna really make all the difference there.
I'm brain dead. I don't
How
know.
you
What
living,
to
dog?
say. Dude, I'm hustling, bro.
You did so good. You're gonna get some titties out.
Oh yeah.
See? Titties!
Oh,
No.
I don't know. That made me uncomfortable.
Content warning. Content warning.
They're nice though. They're nice.
Speaking of drainage, just to give an update on Chantal, she could use some drainage on that boil. So yeah, everybody needs some drainage.
Look, you're like a good consolation prize. So that's strippers.
All right,
They would
good
use a
question.
tankless hot water heater in there to save a lot of room.
This would be a good time to have one. Okay, I gotta ask the question: who has worse boobs, Amber, Lynn, or Fatty? I should probably put it as a poll.
Yeah. So, bring me in. Red, you're dead. You want hot water? Man, you gotta get some hot water, son. Really soon.
I got some really bad news.
I'm gonna put in an outlet for the refrigerator.
I got some bad news for everyone.
You do? What's that?
Yeah, greenhouse gases just rose.
Greenhouse gases rose?
Yep.
Oh, you're producing gas? What? Oh, what are you doing?
Silent but deadly one.
Smells like Vaseline. Chris Florida.
Oh my God! Wow! I'm sorry, Grandpa. Wow! That hits like a fuck. I did not expect it to be that gnarly.
Chantal, I didn't put Chantal in the poll. She's gonna be in the next round.
I actually wanted to get him to do sumo. I was trying to find a place that would let him do sumo.
Oh, we have here one funny boy. It's called much strict.
So we're just going off of presumption.
Put the hot on, Joseph. We need hot water for that. You know what I'm saying?
So it's going to have this double sink and then a cabinet holding the hot water tank.
I mean, I like the idea of putting the hot water tank up somewhere, or just, I mean, having the hot water tank in the place, just sitting there, it feels like it's such a waste of space.
Yeah, I mean, you got that whole loft. What's he planning on doing up there? I mean, that's, to me, would be the perfect place for it.
All right. Let me, and by the way, why does everybody, and I gotta just make it clear, I don't have any special knowledge of ALR's anatomy beyond anybody else. I'm just going on what I can see through the clothes, you know?
Are you done with all this?
Yeah, that's what I mean. We're going to pack up. Get all that packed up. I'm going to see the shower. Okay. Oh, Jiminy Cricket.
Get underneath that. Get a little splash in the face.
Hey, Grandpa, you need to jump.
Oh, your turn, Chris.
Is that rubber gasket on there?
Oh, they got the water coming.
We got to put this.
It's coming together, baby.
Okay, so they have the place coming together.
Really, why it's stuck up the phone tank on the website.
Well, that's a good question, Dainty. I'm going to ask Detective, but I want to give my 2 cents first. I think the tank needs to be full-sized because Fatty has so much body to wash, and he needs so much water to flush his toilet. Well, no, he's not going to use a water toilet. But he has so much body to wash that he needs a full-size tank. I guess it's up. What do you think, Detective?
If it's only going to be him and it's a full-size tank, I mean, he may have to do Navy showers a little bit. But if he would have went with the tankless, he would have gone half the size and had all the hot water he needed. So it's...
Yeah.
I'm just totally dumbfounded on that.
The one thing, though, I would say about using the tankless, those are pretty expensive. And if this place is going to fall apart in 2 or 3 years, that would kind of be a waste of money.
Yeah, but at least he'd have hot water.
Well, yeah, I mean, that would be better. All right, let's let it run for a little more. I think Alizu makes a good point. Airsoft definitely has the most... He has the least shame when it comes to his cleavage.
I am sick and
He
fucking
needs
tired
to
of these
cover up a
goddamn
little.
bugs. And more specifically, these fucking ants that thought they could put a hill next to my home. That's not happening
Well,
today,
he just
brother.
parked it on a
These
hill. Anthill.
He's got an anthill. He's got...
Yeah, that's what they were just showing. All that open dirt was nothing but anthill.
So that's really good to build on. Nothing like an anthill for a stable surface to construct your property on.
Yeah, they don't destroy wood or anything for tunnels. I mean, termites eat them, but Ants just like
What's
to
up,
make
everybody?
homes.
It's your boy.
He
Fat.
does. He has
I'm
like
the
a
Lord of the
single,
Balls.
like he has like
You see,
a
some
flap.
ants seem to think
He
they're
has like
badass
one
enough
big
to flop
flap
over
of
the
boob.
right there by
I like the guy sticking
But
his head
that's
out
not
the window.
happening, and these ants have officially met.
The what?
The guy in the back sticking his head out the window watching.
Yeah, right. He's kind of creepy. He put his head through the. They took down the screen. I guess so he could put his head through.
Their match because I'm the ant bully, and today we're gonna bully some ants.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Needs a sports bra. But he doesn't do sports. I think he really just needs a shirt of some kind. That's really what he needs.
You forgot about his professional lightsaber competitions.
Oh, you know what? You're right. You're right. He needs a Jedi bra, a Jedi brassiere. Could wear one for when he does his lightsaber stuff.
May the force be lifting.
I will say though, that's despite his impressive boobage, his guts still manages to stick out farther. So he and ALR have that in common. Chantal.
Oh. Oh shit.
Did you just kneel in an ant pile?
Yeah.
Fucking ants!
What an idiot.
Please be in the upper New York. Those aren't fire ants.
Yeah, I guess the ants of North aren't as bad, but yeah, a binder, that would be a good one for him.
Let's take it quick.
Look at his armpit. I did not notice. Oh yeah, his armpit. It's like discolored.
In the front too. There we go. There we go.
Oh, welcome in, Mayo
Let me
Mike.
go down the path and get the piss.
That's the red one, right?
You know what, Camps? I'll tell you, and that's it. And I know it may sound silly, but I know that it can be motivation to some people. I actually got motivated seeing Stephen Asante fall out of the golf cart. That was a little over 2 years ago now. And in these last 2 years, I've gotten in as healthy as I've ever been. I'm in good, healthy weight. And it wasn't all because of that, but definitely seeing Stephen Asante fall out of that golf cart gave me some motivation. If looking at Fatty gives you a little, makes you realize that you're doing a little better than you thought, then good for that, right? I mean, I think there's some positive that can be taken from looking at somebody who's doing a bad example. We can learn better for ourselves. So I think that's positive. Yes, a bro or a man's ear, like from the Seinfeld show. Yeah, and glad to hear Skinny's feeling a little bit better too. I'm glad to hear about that. That's awesome. Like, everybody give it up for Skinny in the chat. And also, anybody who's not familiar, Skinny, you can post a link to your channel. Please do. Skinny does great streams regularly about Girl World and some other subjects as well. He's got that foodie lean.
It fills up the tank for the whole thing. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
It's starting to come all together. Definitely gonna be some sexy play time. It'll work.
Still not, we gotta do it.
Look at that.
All right, so now they're going to get the countertop in.
Either the fridge and the stove is, I think the stove and the fridge, right? Yeah, right?
Yeah.
You'll just have enough room for
Stove, the fridge, or you can put the fridge over here or something.
Put the fridge in the corner, put the stove right there, yeah.
Yeah.
And you still have a little desk over
Yeah, a little desk. Yeah.
That hot water heater is definitely not up to code.
You mean by the size of it, or do you mean the something about it that's what gives it away to you?
Well, at least in the state where I built, the water heater has to be in a pan where the emergency shutoff or pressure relief has a tube that goes down to the bottom of the pan, and then the pan has a drainage to outside of the property.
Okay, yeah, they have that where I live too.
Yeah, in older homes where the water heaters are not in pans, those are usually the homes that have drains in the basement, so that if it does have the emergency flow kick in, the basements are sloped, so everything goes to the drain. And
They might have a drain here. They could just punch a hole in the floor.
Yeah, You never know, but it's still even now with the basements with the drains, they're requiring, at least in the state that I'm aware of, requiring.
Dainty Gorilla has
drains.
a suggestion, prediction slash full size fridge. We will see, but you're not too far off. The fullest fridge they can fit. We'll say it like
We
that.
definitely got charged twice for a lot of shit. Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Oh, tonight we put up the name.
They were also saying
Crab
we got
Apples.
ripped off on the wire, but he said we got charged 60 when he meant charging 60.
Yeah, Detective Cochise on panel tonight.
Way more than that.
Can you staple gun?
Staple gun? It's over there, sir.
Here.
Hello.
Yeah, you got the fancy one here, son. What?
Okay, so they basically go up to R13, which is the minimum.
Say again?
The R13 for walls is minimum for actually southern New York, southern Pennsylvania, those lower Ohio Valley.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to see they're putting some in at least. So they're not, they're at least trying. Though, like you said, it's pretty minimal, but at least it's something. They didn't just do straight bare walls.
We're filming this, but it doesn't fit. It's gonna look stupid, man.
Me?
No, I mean,
I ain't the one who measured.
Chris, hold that up so it doesn't fall down.
Gotcha. Damn, bro, I didn't realize how cheap the plastic is that they make these out of. See how, like, the edges break?
Yeah.
It's fucking ridiculous.
Well, the one
money
you-
that they charge for this shit.
When you stood out,
Everything's through the
What do
roof.
you want for $1,000? Come on, man. Come on, man. You want hot water? Fine. That's what you want.
All right, so let's skip ahead just a little bit.
Jesus Christ.
All right, so now they're putting in the hot water heater here. They're getting that thing set up and installed. If you notice, Chris has not really done much work the whole time.
Yeah, he's crew supervisor.
Yeah, right? It's going to be a very cold
So
shack.
lift it up. Let's put it. Just lift it. No, there you go. Yeah. We go straight back.
Well, let me answer Crab Apples to catch you up. Chris was homeless. He had some hardships, somewhat self-inflicted, but not entirely. And he appeared on a reality show. The reality show, they contributed about a total of $15,000 to him to that he could use toward whatever, and he decided to build this shed with that money. Yeah, those lats. Those are some lats, right? Some arms too.
Yeah, there we go. Beautiful.
You're getting caught on the water things, I think.
Hold out a little
Okay,
bit.
yeah. Go past the water valve. There you go.
There you go.
Beautiful. Now we're gonna lift it. We're gonna lift it all the way up. Ready? There you go. Lift it. All right. Let me take a look. Okay, beautiful.
Ready?
Let me take a look at how much.
You almost managed to lift it at least. Invisible lat syndrome.
She went in. Bloody hell. It's like a freaking miracle. Lift that side up, Chris. Like I'm doing.
I mean, there's something visible, but they're not lats.
Bloody. That was good, man. Cool. Huh? Right here, hold this so it doesn't fall down and get through or chip something temporary to hold it.
Well, I should rephrase that. He was never truly homeless. He was more just didn't have a place of his own, but he had places to stay. So I should rephrase that. Yeah, and say hi to Luna for me as well. All right, so this is his shower stall.
Okay.
They had trouble finding one that would fit him.
Oh.
Unfortunately. They had to get this custom size, this extra large one. The extra wall.
Should have just called bath fitters.
Say again?
Should have called bath fitters.
Oh, bath fitters. Yeah, they did have to get them the extra large, and he calls it his forever home. He calls it that is. It's sad that he calls it that because it makes me feel almost bad for the guy that he's so delusional. Flats or rounds.
See, it should go up and then, but it looks like maybe. Oh, listen, go. That's really cool.
could not do that without having tons and tons
Is that what we're
of...
doing here? Outlet? Ah, fuck.
Yeah, that's backwards.
Guys, talk to me here.
Insulation.
So you're gonna want
It's
to
going
have
to
the
be
pig
itching like
facing.
hell.
I know, I'm just trying to figure out how it's going.
I agree with you there. He's got to be so itchy. He's got look how sweaty he is, and his you can see the sweat dripping off of him, and doesn't ever wear a shirt. The amount of dust and sawdust and splinters he must have all over him.
All the fiberglass from the insulation.
That too. He must have, and those little bits, when you cut those copper wires, they leave those sharp little bits. Those got to be all in his back too.
Oh, look.
Laying on the floor.
Are we cutting? Are we doing the outlet? What are we doing here?
Yeah, so what you want to do is you want to face the pig towards the wall so that way you can below the box, and so that way you can see about where you need to cut out that much insulation.
Who's going to be this big bad wolf? His armpits do gross me out.
you
And
should
I don't
stay
see
with
much
this
hair.
Like that. Like that.
Alright, now do your outlet.
But why does he have a tattoo? That's a good question, Oranges Oranges. Detective, maybe you want to take this one. Oranges asks.
Oh. Yeah, they haven't done any of the panelings. The thought behind the sinks should have the green board. The bathroom shower stalls, since that is modular piece, they don't really need to have the drywall behind it, because in theory the overlappings can be sealed and protected.
Okay, so it's not a huge issue, in other words, but it could be helpful.
Yeah, it could be helpful, but it would also take another inch of valuable space.
Yeah, space is very limited here.
Oh my God, buddy, just use a knife, cut it, and you're done.
Ah, fuck!
What does he keep cursing for? What happens? What is causing him to curse? He just keeps saying, ah, fuck, ah, fuck.
He's getting a workout just working a stapler.
Right? Why is that not? Ow, fuck. Why is this not?
No, we all are this time. This is a funny one. Fatty's kind of a jerk anyway. It's okay to laugh at him. He's kind of a shitty guy. Foodie with peeves. I'm not 100% sure. He's done a lot of crap. I mean, as far as like bad things, he's a grifter. He always says he needs money for stuff and then he blows it. He's really rude. Says a lot of rude, mean stuff. Kind of aggressive with people. He exposes himself to people without their consent. He's very nasty. Watch the earlier part of the episode for a better description. Because I went over all that at the beginning.
Okay, it does look like the beams that they were adding above the loft there were indeed used for ceiling.
Yeah, to flatten it out.
Yeah, so they have no insulation at all above that I can see, because I don't see any going down the sides for the attic at all.
Oh, okay. So they kind of left that open.
Catch me up. It's beautiful.
Want me to do a couple more down?
No, just good about
He does look like so much like Peter Griffin.
How you feeling, Chris?
Maggots. Did I say maggots? I don't think I said maggots. Hope I didn't.
Happier than I was.
Ready?
Good.
It's looking like a home up in here.
AstroTurf over here, right?
Oh my gosh.
Is it true?
Oh, there's
Hey, welcome
no
back on the street. Is it true your own chat roasted you about the AstroTurf?
Yeah, pretty badly. That was like a burnt turkey roast.
Yeah, look what he installed in the house, by the way.
You know the basic
He
thing
installed this fake brick wood paneling. It's other fake wood paneling. Yeah.
sauce?
Not the most stylish in my opinion.
No sriracha sauce? No, man. I saw sriracha sauce. Okay. It's gotta be in it.
I'm gonna slide down into the nachos.
What do you get?
In the hole.
There's it's got a
I
slide
don't
into
see
that
a place for a washer or dryer, but I don't think he'll have an issue with that.
Hey, can you take that off? Don't stab it though.
Shit. Can you take this one? Let me see where it's not.
I need to get eyes on this so that way I can understand what's going on.
Okay, so,
And I can
here, watch. See the little tabs? The little tabs have got to come above it. So slide down. Can you do it?
These guys are having a lot of
So,
trouble
the
installing
bottom
that
thing-
stupid piece of shower.
Well, the way they manufacture it.
No, they're pretty tight fit.
That is true. That is true. I can
That's
see
gotta come a little
that.
bit higher. That's our
You don't
problem.
wanna
Yeah,
break
here,
it.
we're from Right here, we gotta come a little bit higher. And then see the tab at the bottom? Watch, come over here.
Plastic for the walls.
Yeah, and if you break one of those tabs or something, you're in trouble. A washer and dryer? Heck no. Heck no. And was this a volunteer effort? Basically, allegedly, they were not paid anything, these men. Allegedly, they did the work for free. But did they embezzle money for the materials? Because allegedly this cost $15,000, and I'm not sure if I see $15,000 worth of materials.
And let me take both reverse spin places. You see the bottom tab?
Yeah.
How so it's got to come higher? Okay. So maybe we can angle it like if you can get that bottom tab in. I'll try and angle this whole thing out like this. Let go of it. So
You crack it.
there. You can now, right? Okay, there now. Okay. Now. Is it high? There we go. Now then, right?
Yeah, baby!
That's it.
Ah! Big energy!
Hell yeah.
He will just
Hell
beat
yeah.
his shorts.
Who's a
He'll
big
beat his
boy?
shorts on a rock by the river. Yes,
No, I'm a
he
bigger
will
boy
beat
than
his
you.
shorts.
It's not, don't go too
Not
much.
be beating
'cause this
anything
thing's
else
wanting to
by the
crack
river.
us.
We're having a squaring issue because this is higher. So, which means that bottom's got to come out or there's nothing we can do. Sometimes it's like that.
You know, with Fatty living in the woods like this, you know what it makes me think of? Off the beaten path.
As much as you can like that.
Oh, just go time.
I'm just going to
Beating
check
his
the
Chris is
shorts.
happy with it, right, Chris?
Yeah, let's get in here, Chris.
Yeah, go
It's
stand.
gotta be like my penis. It's not pretty, but it works.
Stand in there.
Did you hear that?
So,
He said it's going to be like his penis.
Spacious.
Spacious.
It's not pretty, but it works. Is he sure that it works? It's gonna be like his penis. Nobody's gonna be able to find it. Even less people are gonna want to see it.
In there.
Probably good.
I hope they have better water pressure than what they showed earlier. That was really bad.
The best water pressure they have is him turning that bottle upside down.
Too much else, but
okay, now.
I'm gonna put a little fucking sitting chair in here so I can sit down and shower.
I'm
Look
gonna
at
try and
poop in the
bottom out
shower.
and see if it adjusts the top at all. Okay.
We're too high up.
dude, he's gonna poop in the shower.
Don't
He
poop
should've
in
used
the
the
shower.
grinder.
And tell him that.
He's breaking up on a cardboard box.
Of course, they're smoking more weed.
That boy busting.
Chris, you want a safety brake?
And let me just say, by the way, I don't personally have an issue with people using weed, but this guy has his priorities very out of order.
Safety meeting? So what made you go with the brake?
It was on sale on the clearance.
I was kind of afraid it was just gonna look average, but with that gray wood paneling, it actually looks really good.
His shirt fits like Chantal's
It's nice
shirt.
how I got in the paneling that lights from outside. I really wanted
Except
to
she wears a bra. That's the only difference between him. I got a feeling if Chantal didn't wear a bra, she would have the same shape as Fatty. I think that's the difference.
I don't know. Did you see the buttons on her last time? Those things are still screaming.
Yeah, I think Fatty should start wearing a bra.
You think
He
you
wants
could
to
become
look more like
a
Chantal.
tiny home designer and then start selling them?
What I might do is I start making some serious cash. Buy a property out here, move this to that. Then after a while, buy another one, build it up into a nicer house, move into that. Then start renting this out as a B&B.
Rent this out as a B&B, he
Get
thinks.
some passive income going.
Would
anybody here be willing to rent this? Would you rent this, detective?
No.
I wouldn't rent this as a doghouse.
Down by the river.
I would not rent this as a doghouse. I wouldn't rent this if it came with like $100 inside. I wouldn't rent it.
And fucking drop a B&B in that bitch with one of these.
Hell yeah.
I could roll it up.
He's got that same pack of hot dogs.
Right there, you can roll it.
Got it at the same store.
Yeah, that would be better, right?
Yep.
You see the bugs flying around.
That's enough.
All right, let's fast forward a little more.
Okay, that looks pretty good. All right, panel, plug panel.
Yeah.
All right, so there's the sink. They have a single sink.
I should have a couple earlier.
Yeah, I don't know what happened to that. I guess they stole that. You know, Laura, I would agree with that, but considering these guys did it for free, I don't think you have much choice.
What's that? 14 and a half is 7 and a quarter.
Yeah.
No.
Half of 14 and a half.
14 and a half. 7.
Here's the part where they cut the hole for the sink. Let's go forward to the next one because we're running out of time here.
Somewhere in the Chinese rainbow.
Or you can use the side one. And third one.
So here's the part where they install the flooring.
Lord. Literally AstroTurf.
Literally AstroTurf.
How you feeling, bro?
This is the place starting to come together.
You know. I ain't never got to worry about it. I don't ever have to worry about it. I haven't getting any money. Any kids. And even if I had them, oh, that's not hard to fucking.
That's what's good. That's what's around.
No.
Is the weave wrong? Weave wrong?
Two different directions?
Yeah, you want to turn around? Yeah,
Oh.
I'll just try. Got it? Fine.
He's crying. He's so happy that he has this place. He's absolutely just crying.
That's what got me here. Yeah. See that shit?
Fuck ever renting ever again. You never mean that sleeping chilling this rest of my life. I don't care. I ain't never fucking renting again.
He's crying because he's so happy he's going to have it for the rest of his life. This other guy is trying not to laugh at him.
How much safety I feel in this place.
The safety that he feels in this place. He's crying because he feels so safe. It's true. I noticed that.
Get the food's hot.
You're going to say to people,
Probably
you get it.
grab a cheap compost and I want to thank everyone who. Sorry.
Yes, you can.
I want to thank everyone who fucking supported us through it all and really pushed through and got us.
Why does he have no hair in his armpits? Does he not shave? Does he shave? I don't think he shaves.
I'm not worried about shit no more.
He's like no body hair.
I own this. And no bank.
See it? He's like no body hair at all, I've noticed. I don't think he shaves either. So why does he have no body hair? He's a man, right? Completely hairless.
No individual.
Did you see the vent's still the same? They never swapped it out?
The what's still the same?
The vent?
Yep, still that same vent. You were correct. And still that same light bulb. I was right. That is the permanent light bulb. That one on the top. That single light bulb with no fixture. That is apparently the permanent design.
I wonder if they're going to do drop ceiling.
The only ceiling, if that ceiling drops, it's not getting lifted back up.
Shower. I'm gonna have to compost it for a little bit. So I'll be able to shit and piss. A little food time to sleep and work from. Got a stove top to cook, an oven.
He's a
I got a
hairless
couple
alien.
different spots to clean. I got a fridge I can fill with food. And food that I actually want. Like steak, hamburger.
Yeah, that could be it maybe. Maybe it's a hormone issue. I wonder if he and Chantal have similar hormone issues. He might have
Tacos.
hormone imbalances himself.
You know, maybe some chocolate syrup too. That's a good drink. But, yeah, no, this is gonna be fucking awesome. There's a few smaller things I gotta finish ordering and getting set up. But, that's literally as simple as peel stick.
Let's go to part 2.
Bring us your tire and reel, let's go.
Yeah, Chris.
Let's go!
Jesus Christ. Here's his fridge for anybody out. Oh, you were saying?
I just said the cabinet doors weren't even level.
Oh, we're going to see that again in a second. Yeah, and that fridge there looks pretty big for that place.
Okay, now, Chris, you've got to install this, okay? Because any man should be able to install his own thing on camera. So let's go through. Place, twist, right? What do you do? Place and twist.
Okay, so you've never used a shower pole before.
And the problem is, if he puts that pole in, he's not going to be able to get in there.
It does look really nice. It's like, this is nicer than...
Well, I guess that's why he's using a curtain instead of a...
It might be a pull. It's a twist. Is it opening one?
Oh, you gotta twist it there.
Hell yeah. Okay, yeah, and then twist it the other way and plug back. Oh man, see this guy's got it all.
You know what, Fancy Grillo, the more I think about it, I actually am starting to think he might have a hormone imbalance of some kind. He's very hairless, very high-pitched voice, no muscle tone, very pudgy. The gynecomastia, a lot of, I mean, the belly fat could go one way or the other. But yeah, he does have the appearance of maybe like being a eunuch in a sense.
Where's the couch, Chris?
Just keeps his muscles protected.
Now, I'm thinking a nice couch. You sit, right, and also sleep?
Yeah, like a futon.
You could literally get like a full.
Nah, I'd rather get a futon.
I'd be careful. I wouldn't put so much weight against any paneling if you're leaning back or anything. Because they're so thin, we had to be super delicate. That's what ate up a lot of time, was just trying to finagle this stuff. It's like an eighth of an inch thick.
Yeah, all I gotta do is get 600 blocks.
Yes, it is.
Well, that's the fucking thing.
I'm gonna put that shower thing. I'm gonna bring that.
Right here?
Oh, look at that. Huh?
Keep it all back from the wall.
Put that.
Will that outlet that we got not work here?
What?
That other outlet?
Well, yeah, I was gonna put it in. Well, I gotta put a GF. We should have a GFI on the countertop circuit.
We have a small stair.
I've seen big, fat, hairy guys, but they don't have that kind of shape. They usually have like more of like a big, muscular gorilla type shape, you know?
Yeah, that's just gonna be different. How do you do this?
Another light's up there. For sure.
Oh. Give us always.
I'm kind of hairy, but I'm not. No, I'm kind of big. But,
I'm professional. Now, something just seems weird about that.
I don't even know if he'd be able to find it to measure it.
This goes somewhere, and the other thing goes somewhere.
That right there. The foil.
What's this? Oh, I don't know.
We got some fancy ones.
Wow. What? This has got like 100 buttons on it.
No,
what does it mean? Those are different. That many nozzles?
Some of that action.
Oh, God, stop. Okay, so you can turn it. 277 is what will really get you. That'll throw you across the room.
This part's good.
It'll kill you. If you get across your heart, it'll kill you. Well, stop your heart.
As far as actually, that's very sad, Cam.
Show him where to screw the plate down.
And that's one of the things that's the saddest things about this whole thing. I mentioned that earlier. His father died when he was relatively young, and that's sad. I lost my father not when I was young, but I was relatively young, I guess you could say. So I can relate to that. And then his mother died when he was a few years ago. His mother died, so he's basically an orphan at this point. I don't believe he has any brothers or sisters, so he's pretty much on his own. Sorry to say. Yeah, he is an odd shape, very odd shaped guy. He is shaped just like Chantal. That's what I'm saying. I said he was like the male Chantal. He really is like. Oh geez. Okay. Yeah. Let's let it run. So we're running out of time.
See those little screws? You can put them in those two holes there. Fit it over, and it should fit like really nice. Put the switch over first, and it'll naturally fit it into place. You put it. See what? Don't even look at that. Look at the switch. Now watch. See how the switch lines up here? Now those screws will line. If you line up that, the screws will naturally just about line up perfectly. You just have to mess around a little bit. They'll go in. What? We want this fixture up here now. Did you guys get a smaller fixture for this bathroom?
It's in that box.
Dylan, go down now. Oh my God. Oh, okay.
I guess it depends if you were close. I guess that makes a bigger difference.
The moon is shining on you, Daddy. Oh, it's got to be the hardware because.
He struggles so much with even basic coordination. Like look at that.
Dude, the lore has grown.
Can't even get the screwing.
Oh, look, there's another drum around here. Huh?
Look at that. Can't even get the damn screwing. Look at that.
Somewhere over the rainbow, skies are full, and the purple sky.
Finally!
This has one of those little swirly.
Hell yeah, Chris. You want to do that other one? The switch one here? Yeah.
Pressure.
He's younger too, but
And then I'm thinking, I'm still veteran.
yeah, that's sad when that's the case. Hey, welcome in, Sunshine Country Chickens.
So what are you doing, Chris?
Yeah, drill would be a little
Just on the
faster.
floor. You gotta help this stuff to help you through depression.
Is he wearing the same pair of pants in every episode?
That's a good question. I don't know. I could rewind them and look, but if he hasn't worn the same pants, he's worn basically the same pants. And the fact that he's laying down to go to sleep again after all he did was install that little electric plate cover. Pretty sorry.
You got a whole house, bro.
Yeah, sometimes I get
Had fine
depressed.
thread on there, wasn't a coarse thread screw.
Nice view of his legs.
What are you doing?
I'm not gonna pop your zit. I'm just checking it
That's
out.
really disgusting. Let's not see
Can't use your
that.
hands.
I mean, but you're gonna cover it if you don't use your hands. Like I need to see it with the camera.
He had black shorts on
Will you pop his
earlier.
pimple for him?
Where is it? Me?
Yeah.
Right here?
That one?
Let me show you.
He's good at handling tiny things.
You want to go this?
Sure.
Stinky dinky.
Hot water, okay?
Well, luckily we got hot water here.
Zoom in on it, ready?
Do not, not with the needle.
No, watch, I'm gonna show you. This is the easy way. This is the easy way. Look. You got some hot water.
Hold on, Granddaddy Puff got an easy way.
Grandpa,
Wait.
Motherfucker, Grandpa.
Wait.
Grandpa's got the easy way, okay? You get some hot water, okay? A little bit like that. And you just put it over it, okay? And then you cool this, and as it starts to it sucks it. It just sucks the thing right out.
We did a lot of material runs.
He helped out the most.
Hobgoblin did.
Chris is a real MVP.
Nah, you guys are. I'm just the man that gets to have it the home.
All right, they're finally putting in the actual light,
One turkey per
I think.
Are we going to put a flag down for putting green?
This.
Let the wear still work, okay? We're gonna have to see what they're
Ugh, if those are all pimples, that's really nasty. I thought those were just like.
Turn it on, please.
I didn't know what they were. But
Holy
I,
mackerel! Oh,
that's
God.
disgusting.
Ambiance back in the bathroom, bro.
Hell yeah.
That's feng shui. It's like a portal.
It's a portal to hell.
When you're taking a
That's got a lot of light, doesn't it? That's pretty cool.
When you're taking a composted shit right under that.
Okay. Now, I gotta hang this right. I don't even know if there's hardware for this or. But,
Putting in another lamp there.
Corner, we can lift.
Here we go.
All these appliances almost caused a fight.
Mm-hmm. And then we got the fridge.
Chris, I don't think that we should skip in that area, so we're really proud of that.
All right, here's the
Like a
appliances.
stove, which is great.
Oh yeah, nice little electric stove. We had to find a whole different place besides Lowe's to get it because it's a smaller stove. But
Yeah, I don't think so. I
All
don't
these
think he's on
appliances almost
steroids,
qualified.
Camps. If anything, this guy is an absence of testosterone, not an excess.
Imagine how hot that place will get when he uses that stove.
I do not think that's even safe to use that stove in there. That's gonna. I mean, he's gonna be sweating. And yeah, those the black shorts just washed. Yeah, it's like watching Dr. Pimple. I'm Dr. Phil, not Dr. Pimple Popper, and it must smell so bad in there. I can only imagine. It's gonna smell. It's the only place that's gonna smell worse when the paint after the paint finishes drying.
and then we got the fridge. It's a smaller fridge by about 45%. Like your average fridge. So that's exactly what I need to hold it. 2 weeks worth of meat up here. Fucking week there. Cheeses, drinks.
Perfect size. For one guy, he's got everything that he
2
needs.
weeks
He's got
worth of
space
meat
over
up
here.
there.
We can put a TV in this corner. We can lift it up
Fucking
top.
TV, put a stereo system there.
There we go.
Like we're talking speakers that Mr. Bombastic, fantastic. I want to be able to blast and fucking get through.
So what do you think? You get a little yoga mat up there for any visitors. They can sleep up top.
Yeah.
Get some cushions.
Well,
He is so hot and sweaty. Can you imagine living in there?
love having you guys over.
Are they not going to put anything on the?
All right, guys, that's all I got. I'm
restaurant
ready
count?
to take it.
Don't know.
You're telling people you gotta go to sleep?
Oh shit, I can't put this motherfucker
West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountain, Shenandoah River.
He's basically kicking them out. He's like, all right, guys, enough is enough. He's had enough.
Take you home to do the place I belong.
Yes, anyway, there's no bed. There's no shitter, like Camps points out. There's no bed. There's no shitter. There is a full-size stove. There's a small, well, medium-sized fridge, I guess you'd call it. There's no AC. There's no... I mean, this place is
No
So-
utensils or any kind of housewares or anything.
Yeah, right? Like, this is...
I should have been home yesterday. Country roads take you home to a place I belong, West Virginia.
There you go. There you go. That's the story of AirsoftFatty. And we ran a long episode tonight, full 3 hours. But you know what? I had fun. Hope you had fun too, Detective Cochise.
I had a ball. Appreciate you having me on here.
Glad to have you up here, man. Very much appreciated. I think you added a lot with the contractor, with the handyman type stuff insight. I think that was really useful, and I really appreciate you being up here, man. And one of these days we'll do it again.
Anytime.
All right, man. Thank you very much. And everybody in the audience, chatters, lurkers, everybody, thank you very much. I appreciate you all for being here. Anybody watching the replay, please leave a comment. Let me know what you thought. Let me know if you have an opinion on a fatty or this house or just anything on that subject. Or even about Girl World, too.
I'll do a selfless plug.
Yeah, do my little selfless plug at the end. You got one, Detective? You want to throw one out?
Oh, no, I was just saying, if you got any comments about anything you saw here, and I said, and me.
Oh. As for me, yeah, just do my show weekly, and one of these days I should have an ebook, but I'll let you know when I do. All right, had a great time, everybody. Thank you for coming out. Please leave a like, click subscribe if you'd like to see more of this fine content, and check out some of my other episodes. I think some of them hold up pretty well as replays. Good night, everybody. Have a great evening.